So here we are again. Hello everyone. Nice to have all of you here. Everything seems to be all right. So hello everybody. Nice to have you on board as usual on this Friday shortwave radio show. Hope you guys will enjoy. And today we're going to talk about the software to use for digital modes, the different digital modes, and of course do some on live, decoding of some modes, explaining a little bit what we can hear and the fun that it adds to shortwave listening. So hey everybody, really nice to have you on board, and it's pretty cool. This is the Friday Shortwave Show. This show is every week. We alternate Fridays and Saturdays. And of course, this is the Friday show. The next show will be, of course, Saturday, July 8th. So that's going to be the first show next week of July. Last week of June. Last day of June today. Pretty amazing. And I want to wish everybody in Canada a happy Canada Day for tomorrow. Tomorrow's Canada Day. I want to wish also to our American friends a happy 4th of July coming up this week. So I think it's going to be pretty cool, and it's pretty nice to have everyone on board. So today, of course, my name is Gilles. I'm located in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. And we are going to talk about radio and, of course, answer questions and just have a lot of fun on this Friday evening. Rather muggy, rainy afternoon here, about close to 80 Fahrenheit, I'd say, around 26, 27, with a lot of rain, and it's very muggy. I mean, it's like you touch everything you touch. Just like feels weird, it's like uncomfortable. So today my drink of choice is sangria with some fruits and a little bit of ice. So cheers everybody. Homemade sangria with fruits, ice, and some rosé wine in it. So cheers everyone. And of course we will have a little bit of discussion, of course, on what type of digital modes are available on shortwave, and we'll have just I think a cool evening listening to the and of course we'll tune around a little bit and do some live demonstrations of decoding of some signals. So hope everybody's going to enjoy today's show, and I want to say hello to everybody in the chat room. Hello there, John Ritson, MDK2, Ethan Best, Jerry, Bobby Burgess. Thank you for the donation, by the way, Bobby. MDK2, yes. iMapper from Moscow, hello there. Scotty Tier 6 in Toronto, Canada. Wavescan 11580, let's check it out right now if it comes out, how well it comes in here. Of course I have to shut it down instead of having it working. So let's tune around here, 11580, and we have
most of the radio stations that were on the air in Europe at the time, including Berlin, with a one-time radio lecture. That was in the autumn of the year 1923. However, the following spring, 1924, the Turkish government in Ankara issued a decree.
Oh, some kind of mess up in the signal here. So AWR Wavescan on 11580 via WRMI, and here we have our mascot, Mr. Paul the Cat, wants to say hi to everyone. So hey, here's a little kitty, a little guy saying hello to everybody here. So nice to have everyone on board. Richard Cook also want to say hi. Jeff Miller. What else do we have? Let me just make sure we don't miss out on anybody. PLF radio from France. Mick, hello there. If I miss out on anyone, please say hi again. What else do we have? Calvin, hello there. Nice to have you here. Ralph Bender, thank you for your donations, by the way, Ralph. Nice to have everyone here. Bullfrog89, nice to have you here. Yep, it is a nice waterfall, iMapper, on a big screen like this. It's really, really a lot of fun to tune around, for sure. What else do we have here? So Ethan Best saying that propagation has been rather crappy in Indiana this week. So, okay. David Snyder, hello there, says 11580 week in Staten Island with his R75, and Sony 2010 can even hear the audio. Cool. And nice to have everybody here. Richard Cook says Voice of Korea on 11635 up there in the UK. Dan 805, nice to have you on board from Harmony, North Carolina. What else do we have around us? Michael Sother, hello there. And it's pretty nice to have you on board. And everybody's saying meow to Mr. the Cat. So, pretty cool. So, okay. Anyways, we'll be checking out, of course, today the different digital mode signals and having a lot of fun with that. A lot of people, you know, have requested, and I do have some questions to answer on that because I've kind of taken all the questions that I did receive through my shortwave official shortwave radio at gmail.com that has to do with digital modes. It's a big mystery for a lot of people on how to decode digital modes, and it isn't actually that difficult. It sounds maybe a little difficult sometimes, but like everything, you know, you take it one step at a time. And I hope today one of the things that you're going to want to do this weekend, or you know, when you have some time on the radio, is to basically tune digital modes and have a lot of fun with that. So that's going to be pretty cool. Well, let's check out here. We have apparently Radio Havana, Cuba, French. Let's check it out. Do we hear Cuba and French on 15370? Well, very, very, very weak signal. Barely making it here. I hear a little something in the background, but it's almost nothing. Oh, Portuguese. Well, whatever language, I don't understand it because it's too weak. So, Ghost World, hey there. Nice to have you here, as usual. And, yeah, I thought it was, because French, I think, is on 15140 that they have the French. But they do have, I think they do have French on that frequency also at some point. So, Ghost World is definitely going to play with JT65 and FLDIGI this weekend. Pretty cool. Okay, Richard is 15370, not 730. Okay, so digital modes are one of the things that's very, very cool to listen to. Yeah, 15300, Richard, is probably Radio France International. Let's check out here if I get it. I usually hear it better on 13740, but nothing much right now. But it's probably Radio France. They're on that frequency several hours a day. So, of course, you do a lot of listening of digital modes. You know, I do a lot of listening of digital modes. It's one of the aspects of the hobby that I like a lot. And I do like tuning around and having fun with different software. Yeah, that's true. FLDIGI does not have GT. It's missing that mode, and so it's kind of it's kind of a fun part. It adds to the fun of shortwave listening, you know, generally. And what's pretty interesting, by the way, is that digital modes, you know what? Even when propagation sometimes can be a little crappy, one of the interesting things is there are some digital modes that actually are going through and still there, even when there's, like, it seems like there's nothing around. And there are some modes that are better than others for that purpose. So, of course, today we'll examine some of these modes. We'll try to do some live decoding of some of these modes. Hopefully it's going to work. and I think it's going to be a lot of fun. As for the question I've just seen, how do you do digital mode on a portable radio and smartphone or tablet? So we're going to actually examine that, and we'll see exactly. Maybe some people have specific apps. There are apps on Android, apps on iOS for decoding several types of digital modes, and it can be very easy to decode depending on what you have. And even if you don't have all the equipment we're going to show here, I can tell you one thing: you can be very, very surprised at how you can decode even if you don't have the required necessarily all the required cabling, as long as it's very, very quiet, by the way. That's, you know, the fun part. One of the fun parts of the listening. Whoops, wrong keyboard. Too many keyboards in front of me. 14. I like that. Wrong keyboard. So what is that? Anything here? Nothing on 14.817 here. Sorry. So basically, there are different ways and different things you can actually use to decode digital modes. Probably what is the most common, and I'll show you the most common setup. The most common setup for a lot of people is, you know, portable radio, and of course, if a computer for most of you. If you don't have a computer, you can use a good old Android phone or an iPhone, by the way. And basically, hey Daniel Wash, no, not. I will not rant today about the Degen. So to, you know, decode digital modes, all that is needed is that the audio that comes out of your radio goes into your device, and if it's quiet, you don't necessarily need to have a cable hooked up. I've been successfully decoding many digital modes when I didn't have anything around me, just by having the audio just strong enough and putting my phone, for example, close to the device with the software, the required software, or my laptop. You know, you just let it run through and just use the laptop's or the tablet's microphone. And very, very often it works very well just doing that. So that's one part. If you want to have an increase or a better chance at decoding, and if you want to decode in environments that could be very noisy, so say you're outside or say you're in your home but, you know, TV's playing, stuff like that, then you'll need something like this, a little cable. These are little audio cables that are easily available. You get them, you know, on eBay. They have some for like, you know, $5, and you can buy these little shielded audio cables with the 1/8 plugs at the end for simply, you know, adding to, for example, the output of your receivers. So for example here, if you don't have a dedicated line out, you can use the headphone jack, put it on the receiver's headphone jack. As simple as that. And then you can actually either, you know, it will work if you put it inside in your phone or in your laptop's microphone input. And this will be cool because this will you know, enable you to do it even if it's noisy around you. Well, with the microphone it does work well, but it has to be quiet around you. So that's one of the things that you gotta know. And these cables are easy to find. And one of the aspects that might be the biggest problem, especially with these portable receivers, your computer might actually inject a lot of noise. That's why when I have, for example, my laptop computer, what I will do if I have a portable receiver, I prefer the method of let's stay quiet and pump up the audio a little bit so that it can decode through the microphone, than having a direct hookup. because sometimes it will just increase the noise rather than, you know, work really well. And of course you can have some little ferrets that you can steal from old power supplies and do like you know, a few turns around the ferret with your audio cable. That will of course reduce the noise somewhat. It all depends on what you want to do, and that is and where you're going to do it. A few software, and we're going to look at PC software mostly, but I will of course take a look and we will talk about some software. Of course, some of you are using software. Bullfrog 89, for example, has a great one, which is Robot 36. It's a great Android app for slow scan television signals. There's another one that I have here, which is, let me just check it out 2 seconds. Let me just check it out 2 seconds. If we look at Android decoding software, one is, and the one that I have here, so you can, there's Droid PSK, which is not free, but it decodes PSK31 and BPSK63 on amateur radio. There's Droid SSTV also. This one I've got installed right now. This is the one I use, but there's Robot 36, which was mentioned, Robot 36, which is a very nice little Android app here that you can install. And I'll install it right now, by the way, for sure. What else do we have? Okay, there's Droid RTTY. Stephen Cooper has one that's called TIVAR, which is a decoder of many different digital modes, by the way. TIVAR, and this one's from Stephen Cooper that we know all. I haven't had news for a long time, but well known. DXer and shortwave listener. So there are a few digital modes, quite a few. If you start, you know, if you go in your Android store and you start typing RTTY or PSK31 or SSTV, you'll see all these amateur apps that you can use to actually decode using an Android tablet or an Android phone. There are some for iOS. Unfortunately, my iPhone isn't charged, but I had quite a few on my iPhone also for decoding radio teletype, for decoding slow scan television. So just type in the mode, or you know, ham radio, digital mode, and stuff like that in the store, in the App Store or the Google Play Store, and you will have pretty much a lot of software available for Android and for your iPhone or iPad. And of course, these work pretty well. And you know what? Like I said, you don't necessarily need to have a cable hooked up from the device, the radio, to the tablet or the phone. Just by having the audio just strong enough going into the microphone of your device usually works very well. In a quiet environment, you'll be able to decode and have a lot of fun. And I've been having a lot of fun decoding using just the audio, and that's it, nothing else. So you know, it's kind of cool. And but if you don't listen really you know, to digital mode super regularly, you don't necessarily need the cable. But the cable is cool, especially if you have a desktop or a tabletop model radio. It's even cool because these models are rather you know, immune to the noise that your computer is going to send in. So these work even better with computers. Of course, you can use your laptop with Windows. There are some software for Macs, for Linux. Today we're going to look at some PC ones, but there's software for decoding on almost every type of device that you can check out. Joe Kulik from Eastern North Carolina, nice to have you here. Carol, nice to have you here. You're here finally. Cool. Hello there, everyone. Nice to have all of you here. So we have a nice viewer counts going up to almost 60 now. So, you know, it's really a lot of fun to decode digital modes. What type of information you get, it depends on what type of digital mode, of course, you will get. There's two types, technically, of digital modes. There's the ones, I will call them the ones from amateur radio and the ones from commercial stations, or more what, you know, utility stations. And what's the difference? The difference is that amateur radio modes, first of all, the amateur radio bands are going to are fun for digital modes, because amateur radio uses a variety of different modes, and it's kind of cool to test all sorts of different modes. And I mean, if you are just there, if you are going to basically tune around regularly in the digital modes, in the digital area of each band, amateur radio band, you will see that as you listen, there's tons of little modes that actually appear. There are some that are more popular, and there are some that, of course, are seldom used, but if you listen often, you'll find that, man, almost every type of mode is used at some point here and there. On the utility stuff, what you will have is mostly radio teletype or Sitor B, and there will be, of course, some Weatherfax transmissions, even the Mars, you know, the military auxiliary radio system. I've actually found them sometimes simply using digital modes, regular digital modes. So, you know, it's kind of a very interesting, and it's a lot of fun. On the utility side, so, you know, for military and for all sorts of little things like that, you got to remember one thing, is that a lot of it is encrypted, so the possibility of decoding and searching also, because each mode has different settings that you can actually start to play with, especially in radio teletype. So we're going to really have you know, a lot of fun. There's a lot of fun in there, and a lot of fun in decoding all sorts of little things from shortwave bands with digital modes. TOC, nice to have you on board. Richard Dribble, nice to have you here. Yes, don't worry about that. That's if there's one software to talk about, it is Multipsk. Adam Corderia, nice to have you here. And we are, of course, the Shortwave Show, and we're talking about digital modes and the software used for that. So we'll start with one that I think is probably one of the very popular ones, and it was even more popularized by the VOA radiogram that was audible each weekend, because they focused a lot on that software. And it's an easy to set up software. The interface is nice, and I think it's one of the really cool software that you can use, and it's FLDIGI. So FLDIGI is this little software here. So sorry for the purple design. So FLDIGI is a multi-mode decoder. It has tons of different modes. Tons of different modes. So when you go and open the op mode, there's of course everything in here, from CW, Contestia, to PSK, to Olivia, to Sitor, to Weatherfax, and more and more and more. There's like tons of little modes in there that are very interesting. It's not the most complete piece of software for modes, but it is one that is very good. And I will share one thing here as we are talking about that. It's the link to download FLDIGI. So if you guys want to have FLDIGI, it's available through this web page here. Let me just go here. There we go. So you can download FLDIGI directly from this place. So if you guys want to check it out, and it's one of those amazing little here we go, link. So it's a free piece of software. It works for different environment. There's a Linux version, a Mac version, there's a PC version. So this works for every, most major platforms, and it's a good piece of software. It has a few drawbacks, and we're going to talk about that a little bit. But it's, I think, for the beginner, because of the interface that's not too complex, it's one of those easy to use software, and it's really, really cool. And we're going to decode a few modes with it, just to show you guys how it works. Of course, recognizing by ear digital modes is another thing. Because one of the first things you'll know is you will go across some digital modes on the shortwave bands. One of the things you're going to have a lot of problems with is, yeah, but what is that mode? I have no idea what that mode is. And that, experience will help you, because as you listen to digital modes, at some point you'll be able to recognize the digital modes by ear, for the most part. Even the settings sometimes. For example, radio teletype, you'll be able to differentiate amateur teletype, which is, not as wide as utility radio teletype, that is often wider. Also the speeds, and depending on the tones, you'll at some point even guess, oh, this must be that speed. It sounds like that speed. And there's a website that I will share a little later that's very good if you want to know the different types of amateur and utility digital modes. It has a sample of every type of digital mode, and it's amazing. So you can actually recognize through that if you're not sure what mode this is. Whew. Okay. What else do we have here? So yeah, enjoying the rain. A lot of rain. Too much rain. It's like just raining all the time, Theo. Does rain help or make worse HF reception? That's a question I get very, very often. And it does not affect, okay, on propagation side, for the shortwave spectrum, okay? Because yes, the weather will affect certain frequency ranges. But if we talk just strictly on the shortwave radio spectrum, it has no effect. Whether it's raining, snowing, cold, or warm, it will not have no effect at all on the shortwave propagation itself. The only thing that is different from a summer time and a winter time, for example, okay, in the summertime we have static crashes from the thunderstorms that will make shortwave a little less interesting sometimes. But overall, whether it's raining or not, will not affect the shortwave spectrum. But there's one thing that you got to understand, is that on the higher frequencies, VHF and UHF, weather starts to have an impact, because temperature inversions will create different types of, trap signals and stuff like that. So for some frequency ranges, yes, the weather will have an impact. On the shortwave side, it doesn't. There's really no impact whatsoever. Ghost World, so wait, is RTTY a different protocol than PSK31 and JT, or is PSK31, JT, Olivia, are types of radio teletypes? Actually, they are different digital modes, and RTTY, radio teletype, is a type of digital modes. So you have radio teletype that is one mode, but there's a different protocol and different mode with PSK31 and JT65 or JT9 or Olivia. They have different protocols in the way that they are working, So there are different types of digital modes. So radio teletype is a digital mode, like Olivia is a digital mode, and PSK31 is a digital mode, but they are different. So radio teletype is part of the big digital modes, if we can say so. Adam Correa, what do I think about Texan radios? I've got many Texan radios here. For demonstration today, I've got the Texan PL600 right here, which have been one of my favorite radios for, man, I've had this one for at least 6 or 7 years now, and just love this radio. Still works great. Texan receivers are amazingly interesting, amazingly good. There's a few models that might have a little bit of quality control issues, but in general, they're pretty cool. They're pretty cool in general. Okay, what else do we have? MDK2 says loves FLDIGI, but I can't figure out how to set it up to detect modes automatically. Now, how to save the images sent. Can you help with that? You know what? I've been having kind of the same problem, MDK2. I've tried so hard to set it up to have the auto change of digital modes. I've had a lot of problems with that too. I wonder if it's not like a little flaky, doesn't work all the time. But so it's not always easy to use. As for the pictures, I think when you right click, if you decode like a Weatherfax, if you right click on it, I think it gives you the option to save it as a JPEG or something like that, or a GIF or GIF. What else do we have here? So, okay, we'll be checking that out, Yeah, PL660 is a great radio, absolutely. FRG7 is nice, TOT. If you get a FRG7, you will actually have a great receiver. Look at the Hamfests. You can get one for like 50, 60, 70 bucks sometimes. Hamfests are great places. Oh, that's true. That also is a Scotty Tier 6. It reminds me that FLDIGI does have autosave for the images. That's true. Can you tell me, Scotty, what folder does it use to autosave the pictures? Just by curiosity. By heart, I don't remember, but yes, there's autosave. So, yeah, we have here FLDIGI, Cricket Ninja 5. Nice to welcome you. Nice to have you here. Hey, Jay Watterson 69. Nice to have you here. And by the way, you'll be happy, Jay Watterson. I've got something here for you guys. I've got a little bag here, and we'll check that a little later on. It's the DXpedition bag that I've been meaning to talk about for. So yeah, it's by default, but you can also force it, I think, by right-clicking, for sure. So thanks, Ethan Best has been sharing the video for the setup of the RSID for the auto digital mode. So okay, on Linux it's home /.fldigi/images. Yes, I am drinking some sangria, some homemade sangria with fruits and everything in it. In Windows, it must be in Windows. We'll check it out. We'll try to find out in Windows. I'll check out. That's how the configure place. There must be. Okay, how to start. Let's just check out save config. Okay, that's the save config thing. There must be a setting here somewhere for that, for sure. View or control browser. So somebody will probably find it. Okay, thanks, Carol. It's users, your name. So it's your FLDIGI.files images. So okay, directly in the in your regular folder. So okay. So yeah, I was thinking of maybe in images or something like that, you know, directly in the images from your user, your home user, for sure. So FLDIGI, one of the great pieces of software, has most popular digital modes is in here. Of course, there's a few things missing, but it is one of the great pieces of software to have. For the regular modes, you know, radio teletype, a PSK31, I tend to like FLDIGI better than, you know, a multi-PSK, mostly for the interface itself, because it's kind of a cleaner interface. But for example, let's get the this software on, and let's go to 14070, where usually there's some PSK31. Let's see if there's anything that we can decode right now. And it seems to be really quiet on 14070 right now. Wow. Oh, even this is amazing. Trying to let's check it out here. 21070. A lot of stuff right now to decode, as I see. So there's some stuff there. There is some radio teletype. Like here. It's not very strong. But we'll try to. But this is radio teletype, by the way. RTTY 45. So RTTY 45. Check it out. There we go. 599 is a signal report. His name is George. QTH. Rumini. IU4CHE. Yep, Italy PLF radio. His call sign is IU4CHE, so IU4 is from Italy. And the other one is in Etna, Ohio. So QSO, thanks for the QSO. Means thanks for the contact. CULs for see you later. And SK means okay, I've ended the transmission. Well, but Scotty, this frequency up there is not the frequency I'm tuned to. I am in reality tuned here through on 14086. And usually 14070 is PSK31. You are right with that. But right now I'm on 14086. Not in the don't look at the frequency that's up there on the corner. It has nothing to do with it. So this is some radio teletype, by the way. So that Italian station is actually contacting a JA1, which is a Japanese station. But I think I hear it very, very, very weakly. So I can barely, but I can hear in the background, and you see the lines here. In the background, I actually hear the Japanese station. So these are a little weak to decode, but this is one of the fun things. So you know where you get radio teletype. There are some scattered across the shortwave bands for the utility stations, but one of the best places in the beginning of the amateur radio bands, like for the 20-meter band where I'm now, anywhere from 14,080 to 14,100, it's radio teletype. In the amateur mode for FLDIGI is RTTY 45 is the one that you choose. The other modes, RTTY 50, 75, wide or narrow, are mostly for decoding utility radio teletype. And so it's you know it's kind of cool to decode with that. Yes, we will PLF when we get to multi-PSK, because this one is one of the flaws that I find in FLDIGI. It's not the best software to decode the Weatherfax. It actually chops the Weatherfax a lot, and multi-PSK seems to be much better at decoding a Weatherfax, for sure. Yeah, Mick, exactly. They are typing on a computer keyboard. Their computer is hooked up to the radio, their transceiver, so it transmits the radio teletype signal that the other guy's computer is decoding, and of course it's all computerized, so they are typing to each other through radio, basically. Absolutely. So it's pretty cool. Yes, Scotty, PSK32 after the currency conversion. It was PSK31 in the United States. It became PSK32 here in Canada. So, yeah, PACTOR. Similar to RTTY, but different protocols. PACTOR is another type of mode. So there's all sorts of little modes that you can decode like this. Let's try here for, let's try again for PSK. Oh, there's a PSK signal. PSK is very, so let's just PSK31. It's often a thin line, very, very thin line, and you got to put your cursor over it. One of the cool things of FLDIGI and PSK31, by the way, is that on the left side, in the white part on the left side, if there are multiple PSK31 signals, they will all be decoding on the left side in that white spot right here. So you can actually see all the signals decoding at the same time in PSK31. So that's also something that is cool of this this FLDIGI. They kind of tell you, if you set the frequency up there, by the way, okay, I could have set it for RTTY. If you set it up there, it actually tells you the approximate frequency where each is transmitting. So right now it's kind of a difficult, almost impossible copy on this one, but there's a PSK signal there. Thank you for, but we're missing a lot, big parts. We know that he's got a TS940 and we're missing a lot of parts on this one. SV9, I don't know if it's, yeah, I think it would, this seem like that, SV9 CAF, that would be, I believe, a Greek station. So, signal is not the best. Very, very weak PSK signals right now. Wish we could have a stronger one. But these are a lot of fun to decode and very, very, very cool. Yeah, totally, Mick. It's really transmitting digital modes through radio. So basically, they're transmitting a shortwave on shortwave in the amateur radio bands, and it's, you know, much more fun than the internet. It's easy to talk. You know, on the internet we have a chat room right here. You know, it's like, you know, it's just there. But that's cool because it's radio, and it means that you're receiving a radio signal and with your antenna and your receiver from, you know, that part of the world, and it's really, really cool for that. So there's a lot of fun to have in decoding digital modes when these are strong enough to decode well, and it's a lot of fun to do. So 14070 is one of my is one of the BPSK31 frequencies. So here we're decoding one right now. Guy says QSL is okay, direct, EQSL, and so on. Unfortunately, signal fades a lot, so it's difficult to copy it really well. So, unfortunately. Difficult copy for this one. So there are different modes like that, and it's a lot of fun actually. It's a lot of fun, and sometimes you know you just start tuning around and DX digital modes, and it's just so cool. Yep, absolutely. Yes, really, Scotty. I remember the first time with my Commodore VIC-20 when I logged into a BBS. Wow, that was communications. That was the hell of communications, I can tell you that. Hey there, Mad Radio DXer. Nice to have you on board, as usual. MDK2's got the RAF Volmit in Colorado for the first time the other night. And yeah, on 5450 USB. Here it's a regular. Here it's really a regular every night. So look at that, guys. SV9CAF from IK5. So this one was another Italian. It seems that Italy is coming in very well on 20 meters right now. So you know, these are different modes that you can use. In the spectrum, if you look at the spectrum, anywhere from 14060 to 14120, you have a host of different digital modes that are pretty amazing. And one of the frequencies I like to hang around is like around 14073, 72, 73, 74. A lot of unusual modes will appear. There's going to be Olivia. There's going to be what are the modes? One of the most popular modes there is Olivia. Most of them, when they do, are doing Olivia 16500. But I've actually got there Olivia. I've got Thor. I remember receiving something called Alschreiber, which is a very unusual mode, by the way. Contestia, Domino X. I've heard all sorts of these little weird modes, and it's just very, very, very cool when you get a mode. And also that's one of the fun parts here is when you get a digital mode that you hear, and you start to try to identify what is that digital mode. And it is very, very, you know, it's like doing some detective work, because now you're listening to some modes look alike. And what sometimes fools the software is that some modes take a certain time to decode. Some modes will actually take up to 20-30 seconds before you start seeing the text go through. So you know, you're not really sure, am I in the right mode or not? And the important thing to understand in a digital mode is that when you use digital mode, so let's go here, I'm gonna just for the fun of it choose Olivia 16.5. Here at the bottom you've got lines, and there's a certain width to that line. So here you see how wide this mode is. So what you want to try to do, basically, if you want to try to succeed in decoding digital modes, is of course match the width, or the signal within that box. If the signal goes outside the box, you know that you're not in the correct mode to decode it. If the signal is too small for the box, you know you're not in the correct mode either. So part of it is understanding that, first of all, for a correct decode, your signal needs to fit in the lines that are here. And if you're too wide or too small, it could be different things. It could be the mode that's not the one that you should use, but there's also different configurations. So Olivia, for example, I just chose 16500. but you know, it could be an Olivia signal that would be a 16.1K, even wider, or something smaller. And that basically means that the signal that you got here really got to fit in there, because if the box or the lines are too small, that means the signal you're decoding is actually wider, is using more space than what you have chosen. And if your box is too wide, it means the signal uses a lot less of the spectrum, and you need to find the correct mode where it's going to fit in there. So it might sound difficult, sometimes it is, sometimes in some unusual modes, trying to find what is the exact signal that you're trying to listen to is sometimes a little touchy, but it's kind of cool, and it's part of the detective work, basically. Really part of the detective work, that's for sure. Hey F. Blassie, nice to have you on board from Oakland, California. And yep, yeah, there's field hell mode, there's all sorts of modes. And you know, one of the things that's very, very interesting of the amateur bands is the fact that you will regularly hear someone trying a specific mode or a bizarre mode that nobody uses, and then you're going to scratch your head as to what is it? What is that signal? What mode is that guy using? And I remember hearing transmissions and, you know, just trying out different modes for like 20 minutes and not be able to, of course, not really, you know, understand what mode it was. But like, you know, one of the things of FLDIGI is by correctly adjusting it. There's something called RSID that can actually, for you, if the signal's clear enough, kind of say, oh, it's, you know, this is that mode. It can switch the mode for you and say, okay, I know what this is, and I'll switch it for you. So, you know, this is very, very, very cool. And of course, what do you hear, for example, in amateur modes? Well, there's all sorts of contacts in here. You will have the regular contacts that are simply, you know, let's just make a contact. I'm here, my call sign is this, that's my Q2H where I live. You are there, and thank you for the contact, bye-bye. And some people will just do that. But some have conversations, and you know, sometimes you'll hear both conversations on the same frequency when you can hear both amateur stations. It's kind of cool. You just watch the conversation go away on your screen, and it's some, you know, part of it is fun. What's nice also about digital modes is the fact that it adds a side to the radio that is the computer side for a lot of us. And if you are kind of, you know, a tech enthusiast, you like to play around with computers, you like radio, well, what's cool with digital modes is it kind of brings around both worlds. You know, I remember as far back as when I had my Commodore 64, I had the SWL cartridge that you could put in the back. That cartridge could decode MTOR and CW and RTTY. And it was kind of cool because it was like my Commodore 64, which was for me something amazing, a computer that was really cool and fun to play with, mixed in with radio suddenly. And it's like, wow, this is something really cool because I can use my computer to decode some signals. And of course, back then, the digital world was even more interesting because you had, you know, weather bulletins, you had news agencies sending out in radio teletype in the 80s. So there was a lot more to listen to. Radio teletype was also pretty much the dominant digital mode for computers used in the 80s. There weren't really much more than that to decode. There were a little bit more, but you know, there were more expensive things. I remember the what's that? Remember that one of the most popular devices back in the 80s for decoding digital modes for amateur radio was like PK232 or something. It was a little box full of little lights, and there were different digital modes there for transceivers, for example. And it's really, really nice, and it actually makes you enjoy not only the radio side but the computer side. And it's like there's nothing more interesting than just thinking, hey, I am receiving on my radio some, like a TNC controller. Edward Johnson, nice to have you on board, by the way. And you know, just having the radio side, that's already cool, and then you add your computer side to it, and it's like, huh, this is kind of cool. It is really, really kind of cool. So really, really nice. Yes, Scotty Tier 6. The shortwave log cartridge had CW, RTTY, and Amtor. It had these 3 modes in it. So I remember I used it quite a lot. I remember bringing, a friend of mine had a shortwave radio pretty much, about a month after I had mine, because he was telling his dad how I had a lot of fun with my DX100 receiver. And I remember, he had a Commodore 64 also. And when we would actually play together, sometimes I'd go over to his place and I'd bring my cartridge and plug it into his Commodore, and we'd just decode some stuff off of his radio. The only thing was bad is that the DX100 stability was so bad that the drift would mean that the tone would always change, and so it was very difficult to decode something with the DX100. My first real decode came from when I had my DX302, because that one was so stable. Now I could easily decode. And by the way, Scotty Tier 6, just for the fun of it, the SWL cartridge for the Commodore 64, this is the original cable that came with it. I still have it. It's sad, I don't know what happened to the cartridge. I lost it at some point. I think I lost it when we moved from that place to where I lived before here. It's sad because I have the cable, the audio cable's here. This is the original audio cable that came with the cartridge. I still have it, and I still use it to plug in my computers and my in my radios. So it's kind of cool, It's kind of really, really, really nice. So I don't know. Okay. Do you have an art in the Scott? A DX302 in your shack? Cool. Cool. Really nice. 16167. Let's try it out for X16167. Oh, I've got a tone, but I think it's from the... no, this is a tone that comes in from my house. But we'll see if XP... we can get the XPA number station. So, it's kind of a lot of fun. And it's one of those things that's really, really cool to play with. Carol T says, has a PK232 MBX, that is the TNC, or, yep, absolutely. Kind of bluish with little lights. I remember I didn't have the money back then, because when I had the SWL cartridge, the first version of the PK232 actually had everything needed with the cables that you could hook it up to a Commodore 64 back then. And I remember going to a flea market with my dad, and I remember one guy had one of those. He was selling it for like $40. And I just remember going through it and looking at it and saying, man, $40, I don't have $40. I had like 15 bucks in my pocket. But when you're 15 or 16 years old, you're like, yeah, you don't have money anyways. And I look at my dad, and my dad says, sorry man, I don't have 40 bucks for that. I was like, okay, it's okay. So, is that a happy candidate drink? Yeah, almost. All we need is little, like, to put in some little floating, you know. Well, it's red anyways, so I don't know. But, you know, little floating maple trees or something, maybe. It's more like sangria, so for sure. And oh, absolutely, David Arden, exactly. I've got, hey, I'm hearing XPA2. It just got on. It's weak, but it's there. You could see the lines here of the transmission, even though it's not very strong. It's very weak, but I'm hearing XPA2 on 16167. Sending 2 tones right now. Video keeps buffering. That's interesting because here everything is maxed out. I'm green on Wirecast and I'm green on YouTube. So, could be one of those weird. It does sound like it sounds like some kind of PSK, some kind of you know, almost like a MFSK signal, but so PLF radio says it's okay for him. Could be depending on the people. So I'm hearing 2 tones only, 16167 right now, and so that's XPA2, which is a Russian number stations in a kind of a digital mode. It's very weak, but it's there on 16167. I don't know if you guys can see, but you can see the tones right here in my waterfall. The red lines here. Don't mind. Okay, I'm just gonna notch this one, which is not supposed to be there. And these XPA2. So it's not very strong, but it's, oh, now it's sending multiple tones. Look at that. It just sends some multiple tones right now. So this is a, and it just stopped. This is a Russian number station, by the way. Russian number station. No, you cannot decode XPA2. I believe it has, I don't know, I've read, I did see somewhere someone decoding the kind of numbers that come out of this with, you know, I've seen some YouTube videos, but I don't know. Mad Radio the Xer says, what I noticed when I receive XPA2 is that the transmissions are not long and it does not always start on time. Oh, really? So sometimes it's, I did notice that sometimes it starts early. So it's possible. So Bobby Burgess also says, good there. Big Thumb, nice to have you here, by the way. Cosmic Lettuce, nice to have you here. 12-second delay. Pretty cool. So, but now there's like, I've seen things to decode. So that's it. MDK2 has it. Oh, you've got the video on it? Maybe it's your video that I did see, MDK2. You can decode XPA2 with Rivet 88. Must be your video, I've checked. I remember watching a video, so it must be yours. Pretty sure. Hey, you're watching the Shortwave show. We've now passed the first hour of our live show here from Montreal Canada. Today we're talking about digital mode software, digital modes in general, listening to some little stuff here and there. It's pretty cool. And you know what? Your help is always appreciated. And there's an easier way now to use PayPal with me. So first of all, if you use PayPal, the email that I gave you all for the past year is still good. You can still send through PayPal on that. But I've actually, thanks to the suggestions of a lot of people in the chat, acquired a PayPal.me special web address for the donations. It's paypal.me/shortwave. That's very easy to remember. So if you want to donate through PayPal, do like Bobby Burgess did today, for example. Also, there is somebody in Sweden today, Matt. I think it's Matt in Sweden that actually also donated today. Thank you very much. You can now donate just by going through paypal.me/shortwave, and there you're going to be directly linked to my PayPal donations place. So it's easier than ever, and it's easier to remember than my really weird name that nobody can probably pronounce or remember what it is. You can also join my, I have 11 Patreon donators now. Why not? On patreon.com/radio and computers. And that's a website where it's created to help donators. And basically, it is a nice place. You just have to be very careful because I've noticed what is the major flaw of Patreon when you donate from there is when you set it up to give me something, just make sure that you set it up right, because I've got one user that's very angry, and you know because Patreon tried to get $1,000 from his credit card, and I'm really sorry, but you know it's like the setup was kind of wrong. And so when you set it up, be careful, and don't worry if you set one up. Now I am checking everybody that sets a Patreon account to give me a little something, because I've noticed you know that I can see how you set it up, so I can tell you I think there's something wrong. If you don't want to have like you know $500 taken from your, and don't worry if you made an error and there's $1,000 taken off your credit card, I will refund. Don't worry about that. I am not here to steal. I'm here to provide entertainment and have fun. So paypal.me/shortwave, woohoo, and patreon.com/radio and computers. Thank you to everybody that donated. Thank you for the regular donators. I mean, it's really, really, really fun, and it helped me a lot in continuing what I do. Thanks to everyone. And if you are a regular viewer, never donated, love what I do, why not think about it? Why not think about it? You know, I provide hours and hours of fun and entertainment and bring together a lot of shortwave people, and you know, it's something that's so cool, but I can't do it without donations, because it takes a lot of time to prepare, and it takes a lot of time to just do the shows. So thank you everyone, really, really welcome. Okay, back to the serious of the matter. You are watching the Shortwave Show, and you know what, guys? If you guys give me a second, I'm just gonna like go, and I'm gonna leave you with, I don't know, I know this is a Jesus Jason, but okay, I'll leave you with 11580 there. I think WRMI is more interesting to listen to. It's very weak, but I'm just gonna go refill my little sangria here. It's so humid, you guys, with my cold water, my cold sangria. The top of my desktop computer here has like an inch of water just dripping off the sides because of the super very, very humid weather right now. So I'm just back in 2 seconds, guys. Okay, here we are. Here we are. Okay. Okay. As we continue on with our shortwave show, 11580 sounds like Radio Slovakia or something, or Radio Ukraine. Okay. And once again, I just want to extend my best wishes for everybody for Happy Canada Day for tomorrow. I mean, it's extremely cool to have everybody here. And so all my Canadian friends, Happy Canada Day. To all my US friends, happy 4th of July next week. I hope you guys are going to have a lot of fun. And we will, hey KC Red Dragon, you just missed it. We just had some radio teletype just before you arrived. So, what's French for condensation? Condensation. Same name, Michael. Condensation. It's actually the same word. In French, it's condensation. Condensation. Same word. Just pronounced differently. Okay. What else do we have here? I'm going to talk about another piece of software that's very interesting, and I think, okay, FLDIGI is cool, has a beautiful interface, but we can't talk about digital modes without actually talking about one software that's Multipsk. So Multipsk is this little piece of thing. Okay, why why do I talk about this one on you know, not my first choice? Because one of the things that happens is that I like the interface of FLDIGI a little better than this one, because this one, it has every mode and it is great, and I mean, this thing decodes everything, but darn, it's, you know, just to give you guys an idea, I was actually going to decode a Weatherfax last week, and I started looking at, you know, okay, it's here. Now I know it's here because, you know, I've done it like 2 or 3 times. So I know here that, you know, fax is here now. But you know what? I looked through this thing a gazillion times before I did see fax. It was like, God, this is so damn complicated. But I have to say that this piece of software, Multipsk, is one of the most complete decoders that exist, because also it has something very interesting. It has the regular modes here that are amateur, but there's also professional modes, and professional modes decode some very unusual things, some very interesting things, including Icom, which are the Icom FM satellites that I've been talking on the VHF UHF channel. Now, word of caution, if you want to use the professional modes, they let you like use a little bit of time, but if you want to have this software and use it, the professional modes like you want, you'll have to pay for the more advanced version, which is something like $40 if I remember well. So if you want to use this part, professional modes, more often, you'll have to shell out some cash. But you know what? I believe it is worth it, and it is worth it to pay for the for the full program, because I mean, this thing is just amazing in what it does, and the professional modes add a very, very cool side to it in what you can decode. You know, in decoding the cell call from the airplanes, for example, you listen to, you know, the HF aeronautical frequencies, stuff like that. Just all sorts of little things. I've used it in professional modes. I've used it. I've tried for ACARS. I've tried the cell call. I've tried Orbcom, which works, except after like 30 seconds, it just says, "Well, you gotta upgrade." Orbcom for the satellites works well. It IDs. It tells you exactly what satellite, by the way. So it's really a lot of interesting. Now, there's a lot of modes here, and there's, of course, we don't always hear all the time all of this, but it's cool to have all of these modes, because if you do listen regularly to the if you listen regularly to shortwave bands, at some point, some modes that really aren't used very often are going to be used. Okay, 30 euros. Thank you, Richard. Thank you, Richard. It's 30 euros. So, what, about 55, 60 Canadian dollars. It's not that much, because this piece of software, I got to say, is very good for all the modes that it has. But like KC Red Dragon, there's a lot of modes you don't hear. That's the thing. You know what? There's a lot of modes in here, and you'll say, well, I don't hear half of that all the time. But you know what? What's interesting is that this piece of software, having it is useful, because one day you will go into a digital mode and say, oh man, okay, this is kind of cool. I have that mode, available. Even if it's a one-time thing, at least you have it, and it is nice. No, it is not a trial software. Multipsk is a free software, but the professional modes will be kind of a trial thing. But for the amateur modes, you can use it as much as you want. There's nothing there that's going to prevent you from using it a full day if you want. So don't worry about that. It's not really a trial software. It's kind of a free software on the amateur side. And their professional modes, well, they tell you, well, you better, if you want to add that, kind of cool to, pay for it. So, okay. And by the way, Richard, did you try JT65HF that I told you last time? With the different, with all the different stations you see at the same time? Remember last time we talked about that, because one of the things I don't like about some of the modes in this one, for example, there's JT65 that you can decode here, and I was just searching for it, which is right here, smack in the middle there. Okay, let's go on to 14076 upper sideband. So there's some activity here. So we'll bring back Multipsk. What's sad about Multipsk is that it decodes one station at a time. And there's a station called JT65HF that decodes bunches all the time. So yeah, that exactly what I was saying, MDK2. That's the drawback of Multipsk. On Multipsk, the big drawback is one station decode at a time, which is very sad. So here we'll see if it decodes one. Here's some JT65, by the way, for those who wonder what it sounds like. It sounds like this. Ah, okay. No distances are shown. Okay. You know, that's the... Okay, so if I move the... Okay, I'm going to try that, Richard. Move the cursor over the call sign and watch the upper left of my screen. Okay, that's something I've never done. I should have a decode at some point. Alright, here's one. Call sign. Oh, look at that. Italy, 42 north, 13 east. And this one, United States of America. Hey, I've never noticed that. Thanks for letting me know. I never noticed that. Oh, this is so cool. This is so cool. I just put my pointer on the call sign. So there's IZ4REF. It says on the top, when I put my pointer on it, it's Italy, 42 north, 13 east. K2UR. United States of America, 40 north, 100 west. This is cool. That's cool. I never noticed that before. Huh. I never noticed that. Now move your cursor on to 1270 on waterfall. $12.70. How do I know I'm at 1270? You see that I haven't used that one a lot in JT65. That's kind of cool. Oh, there's even a Google Earth thing. Automatic filling of the his or call sign. Google Earth. Display all received positions on Google Earth if this one exists on a PC. Oh, this is so cool. I never noticed that, but if you have Google Earth installed on your PC, it's actually going to display on the Google Earth software your contact. Oh, this is nice. So for example here, once again, same, just decoded the same one. Okay, 1270 would be the best, yeah. But the reason I like better, and I'm going to show you guys, okay? Just to give you an idea. We're at JT65, but what I like about, even though, okay, you've shown me some cool stuff I didn't know about that software, what I like about this one, which is specialized JT65HF, is that this one decodes the bunch. So right now what we hear is really just a bunch of stations. And you are right, PLF. I think it's PLF that said that. Yeah, PLF. When you hear this for the first time in your portable radio, it's a little scary. It is kind of mysterious. And you know what? On the Shortwave forums that I watch in the Shortwave Facebook groups, I've noticed that there are a lot of people that hear this and are totally mystified and say, what the hell is that? I've been hearing that and it sounds so bizarre. Some people think sometimes that they are number stations and so on. They're not. They're really, and it's really an amateur mode, basically. So, MDK2 says, I like JTDX for JT65, which can decode multiple QSLs at the same time too. Jordan from Radio Northern Ireland tipped me on that. Oh, I never tried that one, JTDX. I'm going to try that out. But you know what? This is another one that decodes multiple. Here we go. Look at that. You've got all these that were just decoded. So it decodes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stations. The one calling CQ here, M0JBM. It would have been like really, really cool talking about Jordan and from Radio Northern Ireland to actually receive Jordan on JT65 like now. It would have been just like a funny moment here in the show. Look at that, LB6B. Where's that from? LB6B. where is LB6B from? We gotta check that out. So obviously, when you want to check out where a station is from, one of the things that you go to is QRZ.com. And in QRZ.com, I will, of course, LB6B, and this is Norway. Hey, we've got a JT65 station from Norway. Look at that. Look at that. This is cool. No, this one is PLF radio. This one is JT65HF, and I'll post a link to this one too, so you guys can download it if you want. JT65HF. For me, it's the most interesting one because it decodes all the stations together. So here we go. JT65HF. And you can download it from here. And it's very, very, very nice. So here you see the green lines are the ones that are calling CQ. So you already have an idea. And of course you have all the different stations here. So technically the last call sign is the one that you were hearing transmitting. So technically it's like I've heard N9MS 85XD, a France station F6, KY4, E83, this is a Spanish station, M0 from, I believe, M0 is from the UK, and so on. And of course we've heard twice LB6B, which is a station from Norway. So it's kind of cool. Now, of course, on JT65HF, that's a very, very good question. I'm not sure. Anybody has JT65 software for Linux? That's an interesting one. So, Helby is Norway, yeah, driver from Shortwave. Really amazing, Norway. We've been having a lot of Norwegian stations. VE2SCA, this one is a local Quebec Canadian station. So it's, this is kind of cool. I like this one for decoding multiple signals at the same time. So yeah, Dan 805 exactly. I don't blame the people. Also, I mean, we all have been there. At that newbie moment where we don't know exactly. And I gotta say that JT65 does sound mysterious, especially the fact that, even when somebody doesn't have single sideband on his receiver, what's interesting with JT65 is that the fact that there's multiple stations at the same time, often you still hear the different polytones, the different tones that are transmitted. So, yep. Yes, absolutely, Carol T. WSJT-X works well. Here, we're going to try it out. Look at that. Let's turn this one off. Another one that's, and that's interesting, and well, by the way, we're going to come back to Multipsk because I think it's worth it to have a little more time than I dedicated. WSJT-X is this software. This one can decode different modes, JT4, JT9, JT9 plus JT65 at the same time, JT65, QRA64, as whisper mode. This is another very nice, this one I've added recently to my software for decoding digital modes. And it is a very, very nice piece of software. This one also decodes multiple stations on JT65, but I like it for another thing, is that it also will decode JT9. And typically, if you're on your JT65 frequency is like 14076, but if you put it on 14078, there's a little bunch there. These are JT9 stations, which are also more popular than I thought. When I actually changed it to JT9, I noticed there was a lot of stations there. So it's kind of cool. So this one is WSJT-X, which is another piece of software that's very, very nice. And it will decode multiple. Here we go. Here's the multiple decode that you see here too on this one. So it's very, very nice and very, very, very cool. And of course, you can choose here on the bottom left. So we're on the 20 meter band. Here we go, 14076. And you can actually look up the calls. So for example, what's nice on this one, I've got an RN6AM. I can actually, if I believe I can enter it here, RN6AM, click lookup. And what will it do? Does it let me know? That doesn't seem like it. There's something interesting here. It says lookup. So there must be a way to look up a station. So RN6AM. Where's this one from? RN6AM from Russia. This one is from Krasnodar, Russia. So this is kind of cool. We're really having a lot of fun decoding digital modes. There's also a waterfall, so you got the graph here for this JT for the WSJT-X software that you can also watch. So it's very nice, and it's a nice clean interface also. Nice clean interface also. It's pretty cool. Take care, Carol. Sorry about the buffering, unfortunately. Actually, JT9 should normally be KC Red Dragon on around 14078. By the way, if you choose the mode, for example here, I go on mode and I choose JT9. Look, it tells me what frequency to tune to. Let's try JT9 just for the fun of it. So I'm gonna go here and move this up to 14078. Okay? And here, we're going to check out, am I going to decode JT9 stations, which is another mode. Yep, I will put the link, PLF. So, WSJT. Here's the page. So here we go, guys. This is the page for WSJT download. Here we go. We've got some more stations. ON8BB. ON8, I believe, is from Belgium. This is a JT9 station. So this one is JT9. We've changed mode. So I was surprised to see that there was so many stations in JT9 also. Almost as many stations in JT9 as there are in JT65 HF. So, hey there, Jane Diger. Nice to have you here, as usual. And so, it is kind of cool. Let's check out, let's go back here, and let's check out ON8BB, I believe is Belgium. ON8BB. Is it? Yep, Belgium. Not too bad. I'm not too bad with my call signs. And of course you got a QSL card here for the station. There you go. Nice card. Nice station. Nice antenna. Really cool. So, you know, it's one aspect of the shortwave hobby that's kind of fun to do. For sure. By the way, for those that talk about the buffering, I just want to say one thing. I can tell you that your internet connection, okay, yeah, for some people, sometimes buffering does happen. But I can tell you something. With YouTube, buffering can happen with whatever connection you have. I've been noticing, for example, I've been watching the Twit network with Leo Laporte, and he's got a really fast internet connection, so you know his output over there is really good. And I've been noticing that every now and then there is some buffering that appears on the stream, but it all depends, you know, where you are. Hey, 1990 Sunbird, nice to have you on board. William Helms, hey, pretty cool to have you on board. Yeah, I've heard that. I've been looking at it's Tom Styles, Hammerhead 88, that's been talking about the weather. Seems you guys have been really dry lately with the weather. Yeah, Ghost World. I love Twit too. Twit Network is nice. I've got a few shows I enjoy. Security Now. This weekend when there's Windows Weekly. This Week in Tech. A few shows I enjoy watching there. So that's another interesting piece of software, WSJT-X, and this one has JT9, which is another. So oh, absolutely, Ghost World. I would love to. I would love to meet Paul Thurrott and Mary Jo Foley, and I've already contacted. Actually, I've already had a email contact with Paul Thurrott at some point while doing something. But I would like to meet them in person. Absolutely. Hey, Parrot Sailor, nice to have you here. So it's kind of really cool, and it's kind of really a lot of fun. And I got to say that these are part. One of the things that I'll give out, because I have some people that sometimes will say, well, I don't like JT65, JT9. It's just boring. It's just call signs. And you know what? I agree with when you want to have content, of course, because when you want to have a conversation, one of the problems with JT65 and JT9 is, I like to call it the Twitter of amateur modes, because it's like, just keep it short, and that's all you're gonna get, But it's just funny because even though there's no content, I actually like this because it will give me DX, and that's how you gotta think about things. I like this mode for it gives me a chance to DX some unusual countries and stations easily, even though I know it's a quick thing, it's just a contact going by. And to give an idea of, for those that wonder, okay, what am I listening in there? Okay, JT65 has a lot of information. On the left side, you've got UTC, which is the time that you actually decoded, like JT65. dB, DT, and frequency are, different information. I don't remember. I remember reading it, but I don't remember exactly. But it's like the strength of the signal, and the DT, I believe, is the delay against. Because one of the things you got to understand, by the way, because I've received a few emails, people saying, hey, you know what? I tried JT65 and I never decode. You got to have a super accurate clock. Your PC needs to be perfect in its timing to the second if you want to decode this, because the JT65, JT9 is different digital mode. It actually also uses the time clock that is part of all the information to decode here. And so the DT, I believe, is the time difference that appears in the signal. Then the frequency, which is the, starting from 14078 the difference in frequency shift from that main frequency, and the message, which is the most important thing. The message here, okay? So the ones that are easy, of course, are the green lines. CQ. CQ means I'm calling another station. I want somebody else to answer to me. EA1EHY is the station I just heard. Okay, that's the station from Spain. And let's just go back up a second because we were talking about EA1. Here we go. And finally here, the last information there, IN73, that is the grid square. The amateur radio, is basically, there's if you look at the world map, of course, there's the call signs that tell you what country and everything. But many amateur stations will use what's called a grid square. This is, if you look on the internet and you just type grid square map on Google, you'll get a map of the world divided into little squares. It's a grid. And basically, the grid square will tell you, well, I'm located in that little spot there on planet Earth. And so it is used a lot in these types of contacts. It is used a lot in the satellites. If you listen to amateur radio satellites, for example, you will have a lot of this information sent out where exactly you're transmitting from. So you can easily know immediately, okay, he's around there, you know. It's more of a general vicinity area. It's like they divided the Earth into little squares, and you're inside that little square there. You know you're from this area, but you know, of course, your call sign will pinpoint the city and the location where you are. You know, one of the things I like showing you guys QRZ.com, but one of the things that came to mind for me is QRZ.com has the full postal address. And okay, it's public. We all know it's public because everybody can just get that, you know, that information. But still, you know, there's always like, you know, I should maybe blur the address or the postal or the location of that station maybe. But still, you know. Oh man, hey there, David in Barcelona. Nice to have you on board. So hey, JT9 stations, and what's cool here is that if you look at another call, okay. So I told you that the CQ ones are easy. If you look at the this one here, okay. If we look at 2141, I had one here that's UA3IHJ EA3FOA. The last one is usually the station that you've just heard. The last one, because the station that's transmitting always gives its call last. So like that, it, you know, kind of always gives, you know, it's like being polite. When you end your transmission, you say, well, thank you to this station I've talked to, and I am this station here. So in general, the last call sign is the one you're hearing, not the first one. So if you see SV1OCA, you did not hear SV1OCA. I heard VE2DSB. That's the one I heard, basically. So anyways, it's you know, it's not for everyone, but it's part of the interesting stuff that you can actually tune around, and the fun you can have. And let's just go back for a second here to Multipsk, okay? Because I mean that's the main software we were there for sure. God. Yeah, Steve Gibson doesn't like much Ghost World. He's still on Windows XP anyways because he just can't stand the other versions of Windows. So okay, if we come back to Multipsk, because it is, you know, Multipsk is the piece of software to have, and you know, even though the interface, I always found the interface crappy. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, but it has almost every mode possible to decode. There's not a lot in here that, you know, of course, we diverted because it's not a perfect software. We've shown you that JT65 is limited to one call. So we went to what other stations that, you know, the JT65HF, WSJT-X, they decode multiple stations at the same time. They're much cooler for that mode. And it shows you, you know, each piece of software has one mode or one thing that's like, yeah, okay, that's not the best for that mode here. But this decodes tons of things. So let's, for example, go back to, let's try another 14070. Let's see if there's anything else in, well, I can't believe how there's really nothing on the amateur bands right now. It's just so quiet. Okay, let's check out if there's some. Let's move the spectrum a little wider here. Okay, there is some. There are some radio teletype here. Okay, let's check it out here and use. Okay, RTTY, where's RTTY? You know, that's the biggest damn problem with this. Okay, RTTY 45 is here. Let's match. There we go. Okay, CQ. Station calling CQ. CQ, JD4 SKA, JD4 SKA. There must be a way to increase the font of this thing. What else can we do here? We can from here. Tools, options, adjustments. I like to increase the font here. So we got a JD4 SKA calling right now in radio teletype. So JD4 SKA, what's that? We just, and we put our, yep, Isle of Man. Thanks to the tip, Isle of Man. So this is radio teletype that you're hearing, by the way. So Isle of Man, so JD4 SKA is Isle of Man. And of course you can go here. We can go here, JD4 SKA and QRZ.com. Remember that QRZ.com has a really cool thing that you can go here, so you've got all that information. Nice card. You've got here we go, JD4 SKA or JD0A. Very nice card. And lots of information. That's the guy. That's the guy. John Barber. And you can actually go in details here. And one of the things I like to do is actually, when I go in details, is click Show Map. And Show Map will show you Isle of Man is right here, squeezed between the United Kingdom and Ireland, right here. And of course, what I like to do is just make that map a little smaller and just like do a little, here we go. I'm here, Montreal's here, and I'm listening to that station here on the other part of the Atlantic Ocean. But it's just really, really cool. So, really, really nice. And of course, all you have to do is hover your mouse pointer over the call sign, and it does give you on the upper left where it comes from. Italy. Now we got Italy. We had Isle of Man. So we just put the pointer. It's really cool. It's a nice piece of software. I gotta say, nice piece of software. Yeah, MDK2. All you have to do is hover your pointer over the call sign in the decoding. So Here I've got JD4SKA in my decoding there. I put the pointer of the mouse right over it, and on the upper left corner, I know it's small and you probably don't see it, but on the upper left corner, I've got Isle of Man that shows up with its coordinates, 54 degrees north, 4 degrees west. It is just amazing. Well, you know, Ghost World, I understand what you mean, but then again, you know what, Ghost World? And you know, today we have the internet. We get the full postal address of everybody, and in the 80s we had these big books. I remember my sister was an amateur radio operator, and I remember she had these big call books. And when she'd buy the new one, she would actually give me the old one. And I remember I had these really thick books. There was one for the United States. That was the funny part. There was one for the United States and one for the world. And they were pretty much the same size, just to give you an idea. And you had, you know, full postal address, everything in there. So I understand, but at the same time, you're an amateur radio operator and you want to be contacted. And you know what? Unless you know about this, I mean, who apart anyone that listens to Shortwave, who apart an amateur radio operator knows that this exists? Nobody knows that QRZ.com exists except geek radio guys. And geek radio guys, it's not worse. What should I say? It's not worse than, I don't know. You know, you can find easily pretty much anybody's address if you really want to. So I agree and don't at the same time, because I'm like, that's for amateur radio purpose. Nobody else except the radio geeks know it. And I mean, if you want to send for a QSL or something, it's kind of cool. And oh, it's possible, driver film shortwave, totally possible. I'm not saying that it's not used. It's not used. It's not used for, you know, like I would like to say, everybody that really wants to know something really knows. And with, you know, of course some people use QRZ.com for the wrong intent. That is true, but you know what? I don't know. You know, okay, I'll ask the chat room. Any amateur radio operators in the chat room, would you prefer that QRZ.com give just the general information about where you are, then have the full postal address that we see? And that's why I try not to go too much with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with being a radio geek guy. I'm happy to be a radio geek guy. I'm a happy radio and computer geek guy. So does that mean I'm like a double geek? I'm a geeky radio guy and a geeky computer guy. I'm a geek. What is that? A geek? Well, the problem, Michael, is that the P.O. box, most of them don't have a P.O. box. A lot of them don't have a P.O. box. You know? I don't know. You know what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you one thing that I actually do kind of don't like what's happening recently, okay? When I those attributes had in quadrature, Jill. Yeah, Cosmic Lettuce. You know, Yeah, that's the thing, David Arden. You know, I like that also. You know, one thing that I don't like that happened with QRZ.com. And by the way, you guys know that if you are not registered in QRZ.com, you don't see the address, eh? You only see that guy from that country. Okay, so let's be fair here. First of all, when you are not registered on QRZ.com, okay, can I log off? Let's go here for a second, and let's go back to QRZ.com. Okay, let's go back to QRZ.com. Can I log out of QRZ? Log out. Okay, I've logged out now. Okay, let's enter one of the stations from earlier. Here we go. Here, it says from Norway, and that's it. Doesn't say anything at all. So you gotta know one thing here, is unless you do log in, first of all, you don't have any information. So there's already kind of a, you know, protection in some sort. And if you're not a geeky radio guy, or some kind of guy that wants to find information about people, you won't create an account for this. And then you log in. And, okay, how do I log in again? I logged out. I gotta remember my stuff. So QRZ, okay, I gotta log in. Well, I've got a username and a password. There are two things that, okay, my username is this, and my password, oh God, I don't remember my password. What is my password for this thing? So I hope it's gonna do little dots here. Yeah, dots, okay. Oh God. Is this the password? Yeah, it is, okay. Wow. I thought I forgot my password. So, you know, you gotta log in, but okay, there's two types of logins in QRZ.com after that. Okay, first of all, there's my type of login. I'm a radio guy logged in, not an amateur radio station, so it doesn't give me the same privilege. Let's go back once again to that Norwegian guy. I know he's gonna like me after this. Okay, now I'm logged in, I've got his postal address, but look at this here. Email, and that actually drives me mad. When I became a member of this QRZ.com website, I could view the email, and I sent hundreds and hundreds of emails to AM stations saying, hey, I heard you today at this time, you had a contact with this station, and they were happy. You know, almost every AM that I wrote to was very happy to know that a shortwave listener was listening in, and even some of them sent me QSL cards. Now, unless you're an amateur radio operator, you cannot get the email, and that does drive me a little nuts. I'm going to tell you that. Okay? So, I don't know. You know, privacy, oh man, you know, I understand. You know, if I'd be an amateur radio operator and I type my call sign there, you'd see my full postal address. I understand. I understand the privacy side of it, but I don't know. And by the way, PLF Radio mentioned a thing because QRZ.com has a limit of 25 searches per day unless you pay. There's another website that is QRZCQ.com. So if you ever run out, of searches, you can go to QRZCQ.com and search for the station. So let's LB6B again, and you will have here too the address. Some have information like this: Bergen, Norway. There's a map here. It's not as popular, but it's pretty good. So for the ham searches, yeah, here goes. Okay, QRZ.com is the first website to go to. These are really cool because you can search. So the first one, QRZ.com, the main one, the one I like the most, except for its, its limit on search. But the second one I like a lot also, and it's QRZCQ.com. And here we go. It's in the chat. So, yeah. Well, privacy is a very complex thing on the internet, that's for sure, Scotty. You got to use VPNs and you got to use all sorts of things to try to be as safe and as private as you can, but I tell you. So hey, we are at a little more. We're just at 2-hour point of our live shortwave show. This is a show that is every week. We of course alternate from. Let's remove this from here and have a little more of this. And for whoever asked, this is HD SDR because I have the FLDIGI SDR plugged in through my network. I'm listening to it here. That's what you guys see when you see this screen. This is my radio right now. So this is where you listen to, and you're hearing the stuff that I'm listening to. And so basically we are here every week, Saturdays and Fridays. And I've got good news for you guys, by the way. Starting on the week of August 8th, which is a Tuesday, so it means August 11th, Friday, starting Friday, August 11th, everyone. I just want to say we're going to be here every Friday starting August 11th. So if you guys like the Friday evening slot, you know what? Every Friday we'll be here. Jerry really wants an FLDIGI giveaway. So starting August 11th, every Friday. Now you're thinking, okay, no more Saturday show? Yes, there will be a Saturday show also. Every 2 weeks. So that means there will be 1 week where I'm going to be on Friday and only on Friday. And 1 week where I'm going to be on Friday and Saturday. So we'll be here every week. We'll be here every Friday. And every 2 weeks we'll be having 2 shows, Friday and Saturday. So if you guys like radio, better fasten your seatbelt, okay? So Friday and Saturday, we're gonna have some shows. So a little more shortwave shows coming up, starting in August 11th. And the reason why also is that I will have less of some other live shows. So it's going to give me a little more time to do other things. And one of the things I wanted to do is to increase the radio output, do a little more shows for radio. So I think it's going to be, I'm not technically taking much of a break. Okay, here's the thing, MDK2, because I know some of you are on my Windows side of live shows, and some are on. Oh my God, that's such a bad phrase, Jerry. What the hell is that phrase? Okay, you distracted me here. What was I talking about? So anyways, those that are on the Windows side, you guys know that, okay, we'll be lowering the number of output of shows, but we'll still have 2 shows on the Windows side. One will be the Windows Insider Hour on Thursdays, One will be the the tech show where I answer the questions. Will be in a new formula on the Windows channel. On Tuesdays, I'll have the first hour of the tech news I want to talk about from the last week. Then we'll answer the questions, and I'll end the show with the good news, bad news of the weeks. That's coming back August 8th at 1900 UT, 3 p.m. Eastern. We will have the Windows Insider Hour on Thursdays. That will be at 3 p.m. Eastern, 1900 UT. Once again, this is for the fanatics of Windows that are like me in the Windows Insider program. We're going to talk about that. That comes back on Thursday, August the 10th. For the radio stuff, I'm not taking a break, okay? I'm not taking a break for several reasons, but one of them is, you know, you guys are generous in your donations and everything, and I feel that I should not take a break from this show. And I feel that you guys deserve to have, you know, some shows. And you know what? I took a break off of the Windows stuff because having, you know, up to now, I was having, okay, just to tell you guys, I was having 2 shows on Tuesdays, 2 shows on Thursdays, plus the Shortwave show, plus sometimes a Radio Extra show. And it was like, okay, I'm going crazy here because that's a lot of shows. And now the Thursday evening was kind of cool, but my nephew is having his new job now. My nephew's starting Gabriel, that you all know because he's been tuning as the newbie to Shortwave bands. And by the way, he's going to be back. Don't worry, he's going to be back. He wants to be back as a newbie tuning Shortwave. So you guys will see him again. But of course, because of his what he has to do, From the Couch show that we had on Thursdays is not coming back. It's not necessarily never going to be here, but it's going to be a break. We had a retro gaming that was kind of an experiment. That was kind of cool, you know. Me and my nephew were drunk and playing games. And it seems a lot of people will be enjoying that because it was like, you know, all hell broke loose during the show. I use a lot of F words there, and it's like, okay, we just, you know, let's fight to the death with retro gaming. And it was kind of fun, but, you know, I can't see any of these 2 shows coming back without my nephew. It's impossible. He's kind of part of that, and I can't see it. I don't see that coming back without him. So he's got a new job. He's going to be a tester of applications for Android and iPhone for a company here in Montreal. So I'm going to wish him good luck. He's going to start Monday, his new job. So for the rest, during July, I am only having radio shows. It's the only thing. And because I'm taking a break of the other shows, you know what? Today, I actually noticed it today for the first time because this week was the first relaxed week, not a million gazillion live shows. And you know what? When I came on today, I felt like I was more relaxed and more into... I was more in a good mood of doing a live show. And basically, it shows that, you know, I needed a break from all the live shows and all... It's intense, you know. I did a lot of live shows, plus the videos and everything. And, you know, I even had a lot of people tell me, look, when do you take the time to take it easy? And lately it's like, well, never. So you know, it's part of it's part of the things here, trying to find a balance. And I think, you know, back in August, I think that's going to be the thing where we'll find a better balance. One thing for sure, I don't want to do 2 shows in one day. I noticed that having 2 shows in one day is too much. You know, not just because, okay, I blabber all the time, so I know, you know, I just talk, and you know, you guys don't have to listen, but I talk. But one of the things here is that it is at some point, you know what, when you do 2 shows that last like, you know, 2-3 hours in one day, you end and you're like, wow, it's like you're exhausted, but not physically. You're kind of exhausted because it's just like, you know. So anyways, starting in August, it's going to be like new schedule, new shows, new things. But I will have my weekly radio show here during the month of July. I thought, yeah, you know, it's kind of cool, it's kind of fun, and it's something to that I'm gonna have, you know, a lot of you know, I'll have fun doing it for sure. Okay, man, there will be one Man Radio DXer, that's for sure. From the couch, shortwave hangout. My nephew actually wants, you know what? He's the one that wants, really. I don't know how many times. My nephew Gabriel told me, "Oh, if you want me back for a show on From the Couch with the radio shortwave stuff, anytime, I'm gonna be back." And so he will be back. For sure. Okay? He will be back. I can tell you that. So anyways, you're watching the Shortwave Radio Show and my ranting and my talking and my blah blah blah. Bye PLF Radio. Take care. It was nice to have you on board as usual. And I think it's going to be fun. So, yep, Richard Dribble. Everybody that's a Spectrum Monitor subscriber today, we received our Spectrum Monitor, so check that out. I will be actually, I've seen the email before the show today, Richard. I saw the email, and I didn't check it out immediately, but Spectrum Monitor is an amazing magazine. I don't know if I can show just the cover of it. Let me just go here. Do I have access to my? Let's see here. I'm just going to check out if I have access to my Yahoo account here, because that's where it is. And please don't tell me you got a Yahoo email. Yes, of course I do. It's like the first one. Oh, here it goes. Let's just go in Spectrum Monitor. Spectrum Monitor. Here we go. And Spectrum Monitor. By the way, it's a great magazine that you can download. Here it goes. Here's the cover of the Spectrum Monitor of the month of July 2017. And that is a great, great magazine. By the way, you know what? If you were a subscriber of the, you know, I loved Popular Communications. I loved, what was it, the other one? God. I'm trying to think about the other one, but this one replaces everything. It is a great, great magazine. Talks about shortwave, AM, FM. I should be paid by these guys to do a ad right now, but $24 a year, like Richard says, and it is amazing magazine. Okay, check it out. Tons of reviews. Tons of information. Yes, thank you, Jill Gulick. Monitoring Times. Tons of great information in here. Look at that. Let's see what's in here this month. So, of course, the RF current. There's an article about Heavenly Fires and Light Without Wires, talking about Nikola Tesla, modernizing, tube testers. There's a thing about inventions. TV band repacking report. There's, of course, internet connections. There's Radio 101, radio propagation stuff. There's a Utility Planet, full of super stuff, scanning stuff. The shortwave listener with a lot of stuff, talking today about radio Argentina, like stereo, WRMI, BBC, Deutsche Welle, maritime monitoring, and so on. Scanning America and whatever you want. This is a great magazine, and I should be paid for this ad that I give for free, because you know what? These guys, they should have it for free. It's a PDF. It's electronics only, so you can't you know, go out and buy one of these at all. It's PDF only. It's an electronic publication So you read it on your computer, your laptop, your tablet, whatever. It is really, you know, at 24 bucks a year, it's totally worth it. It's a great magazine that you get every month, close to the you know, close to the end of the like, you know, the last day of the month, and it's fantastic. So this is volume 4, number 7, July 2017, and the Spectrum monitor actually sells the Spectrum. Oh man, I was there. Let's go back. Let's go back. And here we go. I'm just gonna erase this. So the Spectrum monitor, spectrummonitor.com, by the way, also sells back issues for $3 each. You want to have one specific one, you can go back to their list. They sell each for $3. You can actually get just one copy if you want just one. It's a great magazine. Really very happy. It's been I think it's my 3rd year now that I've subscribed to Spectrum Monitor. It is totally worth the price, and these guys are great. A lot of no, Jerry's monitoring times is gone. They've stopped 2 years ago. Spectrum Monitor kind of took its place, and you know what, Jerry, the Spectrum Monitor actually feels like the monitoring times. I have the same feel with the Spectrum Monitor that I had with monitoring times. You know, Popular Communications was okay, but there's something about it that I didn't totally like. Spectrum Monitor looks much more like the monitoring times, and it's fantastic, fantastic magazine. Hey, George Hunter from Florida, nice to have you here. Nice to have you here. And Blair, hello there, welcome aboard. Niels Pedersen, hey, long time no see, absolutely. Nice to have you on board. Pretty cool, our friend from Sweden. Nice to have you here. I almost, you know, I don't know why I have this problem with that. I almost said Norway, and it's like, no, don't say the wrong country. It's like if somebody would tell me, oh, he's in Montreal, USA. And I'm like, no, I'm in Canada. Not that I don't like the USA, but I like, you know. And I almost said, well, you're from Norway. No. Niels Pedersen is from Sweden. And I cannot miss that. Very important. So it's pretty cool to have everybody here. So, and as we're here, if you guys want to help me out, I've got my personalized PayPal now. So paypal.me/shortwave is where you can donate. You can donate to the email that I had before. It still works. It's the same account. It's just that now I personalized it. Thanks to a few people that said, you know what, you should personalize that PayPal because it's going to be easier. And you know what? It's so much easier to understand paypal.me/shortwave than my really complex name. So here, Casey Red Dragon, you'll be able from now on to post links. So basically, patreon.com/radio and computers. You can, of course, send me donations. They are very welcome. You know, you guys have no idea how they've helped me continue in what I'm doing. So thanks everyone that I've donated. It's very welcome, and it's always kind of cool. So PayPal donations, welcome. Patreon.com. Just be careful how you set it up, so you don't get mad with that, like that guy that, like, you know, took too much money. And of course, if there's an error, you know, if you kind of send me $500, but you want to send me $50 or $5, just let me know. I'll send back the money. There's absolutely no problem there. So hey, you're watching the Shortwave show, and I'm drinking faster than earlier, I believe. So we are from Montreal, Canada. This is a show every week, alternating right now, Fridays and Saturdays. The next show is going to be Saturday, January. Where am I in January? Saturday, August the 8th. And give enough to get the latest FLDIGI. Because you know what? Jerry wants everybody to give me enough so that I buy the new FLDIGI and that I donate in a contest the FLDIGI I got right now. Yeah, Mick, I know. I gotta be careful. You know, this is like fruit juice, but with the added bonus that as you're drinking, you're like, yeah, I'm getting drunk. And you gotta be careful because this thing doesn't show its ugly side, and you gotta be careful there. But you know what, Jerry? I tell you, if you like the spectrum monitor, I think you're gonna like the spectrum. Did I just say? If you liked, if you like monitoring times, you're gonna like the spectrum monitor. It's a good magazine, and you will have the same feel. Except it's not paper. You know, I understand that paper is you know, it was cool, but you know. Okay, August 8th. What am I saying? I was talking about the return in August, and I got August. So my return is on July 8th. Sorry, Saturday, July 8th. Thanks for letting me know, Scotty. Oh, man. So next week, the July 8th, Saturday edition. Yeah, July. Scotty. I was still thinking of my comeback in August. So, yeah, well, you know, Nels, I do understand, and I did enjoy having the paper edition, and I still do. I gotta say, I still do enjoy having a book or a paper edition of something, and that is true that it's something that I like. But you know, we gotta move on. You know, it wouldn't cost $24 a year to get the paper edition. It costs like $64 a year. That's one of the parts that make it so expensive today. Yeah, Christmas show in July. I'll show up in a Santa Claus suit. Okay, so Multipsk, nice big piece of software to decode all sorts of stuff. Let's try something. There's someone that said, "Hey, can you try some Weatherfax?" Just need to kind of find what frequency right now does a Weatherfax station be. That'd be Boston. Is there a Weatherfax on a frequency? Anybody can drive me to a Weatherfax frequency right now. Let's see here. Weatherfax schedules. Let's check out the different frequencies that we can tune in. 12884. There's something around here, I remember. 882. That's one, but it's just a tone right now. Okay, let's see. If I look at the list here from World HF, North America. Okay, New Orleans. At the time we are now, we are at 2220. 2220. By the way, just gonna check it out here. Yep. Those that want to listen to Voice of Turkey, 9830. Signal is not super tonight. This is Voice of Turkey. Question of the month from Voice of Turkey.
Hello everyone, this is Mark speaking about multiple Houston won the 2016-2017 season of British Airlines Euromid PSA Nassau, Fenerbahçe, Olympiacos.
9830 kilohertz, voice of Turkey. So those that want to check it out. You know what? I've never did Mad Radio DXer, but you know what? On 1299, the frequency 12882 or something like that, that tone that I have is the Hamburg one. It's just that it's not at the time. It's not at the time that it's transmitting right now. So bikinis and fat guys in thongs. No, more like Weatherfax from like guys drowning in the ocean. God. So once KC Red Dragon, I heard some Hell Schreiber once, and only once, and that was like last year or 2 years ago or something like that. Yeah, they have also 12 something, but I believe they're not. I'm trying to look at the list here. I have the list of the different weather broadcasts right now. So okay, Louisiana, no. Point Reyes, California. Yeah, I don't know if it's still there. No, I think it's stopped. So California. Let's try one from California. California frequencies. Let's try 12151, 17151, 17151. I do not believe they are on right now. Yeah. You know when there's no Weatherfax when you want to decode one. Okay, let's see here. These are Canadian ones. Anything else that I can decode? So that's okay. Boston, Massachusetts should be on now. Okay, let's try Boston on 6340. As we're very close to Boston. Yep, there you hear. There's one. Let's try this one. And go to fax. There we go. Let's check out this. This one is broken here, but should be not too bad starting from here. There is one Weatherfax decoding from Boston, Massachusetts. It's probably at the end of the fax. There we go. It just ended. Okay, we're gonna wait. There might be something else because it ends in like 15 minutes. So there should be something else to decode. So I'm gonna leave it there a little bit. It's gonna stop and start. This one is like one of the best, by the way, for decoding. It's one of the most stable. And by the way, I have a little tip. Here we go. A little tip for those that want to decode. Remember that if your PC isn't good enough, isn't powerful enough, you might have problems with the syncing of the map. And sometimes it just like breaks the map everywhere. And often that's a sign that your computer is just a little too slow to handle the Weatherfax. As for the news station, Mad Radio DX, the only fax that comes from a news is the Japanese one, and I've never received a Japanese Weatherfax. Never did receive the Japanese Weatherfax. Here we go. Here's a nice map coming. You guys will see what it looks like. Here, we'll get the clock out of the way so you guys can see it a little better. So this is a clean, nice clean weather map coming up. And as it's decoding, I will actually go and get myself a little more of sangria. Oh man, there was a block in the sound. Sorry guys, it's missing out on the audio. When that happens, it's my Wi-Fi. It doesn't happen very, very often, but that's my so here, because of the blockage, you know, when this happens, it keeps cutting out. What cuts out is this. Look at that. You can see here. This is my Wi-Fi. Right now, for some reason, the Wi-Fi isn't coming in well. And it doesn't happen very often, but now it's doing it. Right in the middle of, you know, decoding a darn signal. So really sorry, guys. But when it works better. No, it's not a router buffer. It's, I think, because you know, the dongle that I use for Wi-Fi is stuck in the back of the desktop, which is a big. There's a big big metal box, which is the desktop, and sometimes it actually interferes with. I need to get the dongle out and have it like a little farther away from my the desktop. Really, Richard, you're decoding it just from the audio. You know, I think it's who is it? Someone was looking at one of my videos when I was decoding the. Yeah, that's what I need, Jane. An USB extension to get the dongle, Patrick, to get the dongle farther away from the metal box from the desktop, because it usually works very well. But there was someone that was telling me that he used the audio of in my VHF UHF channel of the slow scan TV sent from the International Space Station, and he could actually decode the same image just using the audio of my video. So, you know, it's audio. It should work technically. So yeah, that's exactly it, Patrick. The map, that's Godzilla attacking North America. So we can see here, this is North America popping up here. It's just sad that we had some breakups here, but anyways. So this is a Boston, Massachusetts. This is one of the stronger ones here. And but for the news one, it's the Japanese station. I've never received it here. That would be a nice DX target for sure. Take care, Ghost World. It was nice to have you on board. Hey, Kevin Y. Nice to have you here. Attacking my ex-wife. There's a lot of ex-wives in the in the chat. Okay, let's check it out. Oh my God. I do want one though. I want one of those. I gotta say, I like that, David. I want one. I'd like to have, you know what? Let's do that. I want to have a t-shirt with that. You know, when there's this big the big circle with the Indian, like they had on TV in the 70s or something like that. The pattern with the Indian. I want to have a T-shirt that has the pattern with the Indian. There must be a place on the internet where you can buy that. No, I don't think so. I don't think there's any news facts from the U.S. anymore. Not of my knowledge. The only one left, Mad Radio the Xer, that I've ever that I know of that still exists is the Japanese station. For sure. Hey, Brett Wayne, nice to have you here. KC2NXP, and we are decoding some. There's no tropical cyclone activity in the Atlantic Basin. So that means you guys in Florida are safer now. And also for the Gulf of Mexico, I guess. As there's no hurricanes or anything. Or no tropical storms that could actually affect you soon. So, at least you guys are safe. Really, Richard? I'm not sure there's still one from the United States. I'm trying to remember, but let's check that out. You know, I'd like to decode one of those for sure if it still exists. News Weatherfax HF USA. Just see what comes up. National Weather Service. Yeah, these are the National Weather Service facts. But, Radio facts. The only ones that come up here is, you know what? I typed news, WeFax HF, and the only one that came up on Google search is the Kyoto News Radio Fax from Japan. So I don't know. Maybe it's not there anymore. I don't know. If any of you find information and know that it's actually working, you know what? It's let me know. I'd like to know that. So really, really cool. Well, Richard, you know, cyclones are like the scientific word for hurricanes. $84.32. Really, Richard? And at what time do they broadcast? Let me check that out. 8432 kilohertz fax. Do you have a schedule on that? I'd really like to see that. If there's really one that exists, I really would like to see that. I'd make a video of it for sure. Let me check here. I'm gonna search for 8432. Nothing here. I don't know. I'd like to see that though. There's still one. Isn't KLO, okay, KLO, isn't that one of the maritime stations that just doesn't exist anymore? Let me just check it out here. KLO 8432 kilohertz. Let's check it out here. Huh. We gotta find some information on that for sure. So I want to know. I want to know. Oh, KSM. 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 Okay, let's check it out. KSM 8432 kilohertz. Anything starts here? Okay, well, that's Sitor. not Weatherfax. What I see here is Sitor, not Weatherfax. I don't know. We'll have to check that out and investigate and come back with some, you know, really pretty cool. Nils Pedersen says, would love the new Icom IC 7610 SDR, but it's not cheap. But I get goosebumps. You know, I can tell you that. I can tell you that. You know, the Icom SCR 8600. I have to say I drool when I see it. I have no money to buy it. Let's move that naughty line. Alright guys, the first part's going to be choppy, but I think the rest is going to be okay. Well, the signal doesn't cut. We're going to have a map that looks like something. Starting from about here. Here we go. So starting here, that map's going to look good. So of course, this is Weatherfax. There's a lot of stations, by the way. I'm going to actually give you guys, again, the link to the Weatherfax schedules. Because there's a very nice Weatherfax schedule that is actually sent out by the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration in the United States. It's a PDF, and it contains every worldwide marine radio facsimile broadcast schedules. It's a very nice piece of document. It's updated about once a year, and it's really worth it to check out. So here's the link to that. Very, very worth it to check out. Very worth it to check out. We do have Navtex here at Mad Radio DX on Longwave also. One of the frequencies near Montreal, by the way, of Navtex is, man, 200, I think it's 298 kilohertz. And I've decoded once about that. It is a very, very interesting transmission. And there's one here in Montreal that has a pretty good signal. I'm pretty sure that Richard, even you, Richard, could probably copy it. I think it's 298 kilohertz. We're going to go down to the long wave band here. I'm going to try to get it. Yep, navigational information. We do have a station near Montreal because the St. Lawrence Seaway is one of the big seaways in North America. So we do have here close to Montreal one of those Navtex longwave stations. I remember decoding it for a while. Well, hey Tor, nice to have you on board from Norway. Hey, we heard an amateur radio station from Norway a little earlier, by the way, Tor. You know, it depends on what you are tuning to. I'm just gonna lower the volume a little bit here. One of the things about weather is that for the shortwave spectrum, usually doesn't affect much, except maybe the thunderstorms that have static crashes. But I would say that for the VHF UHF range, if you go higher in frequencies, the weather will change reception. because there's, you know, all sorts of propagation phenomena like temperature inversions. There's all sorts of things that happens when weather fronts go through that actually really enhance or change the propagation. It's just amazing. Nissan Greenwich, nice to have you on board from Dublin. Really nice to have you as usual. It's been a little while, and it's pretty cool. And you guys are watching the Shortwave show. We've been on the air for 2 hours 44 minutes. It's my third pint of sangria. Yes, I'm a little bit drunk, but you know, part of the show. And we're tuning around and decoding a iceberg analysis for July 1st. It's in the future, the 1st of July 2017. It's a future map of icebergs. Oh, that will be interesting. Ethan Best says he's extremely interested to see the change of propagation during the eclipse. By the way, you guys in the United States will have a really cool experiment to do on August 21st. August 21st is a total solar eclipse. It has a very interesting path across the United States. If I had the cash, I would tell you one thing. I would be down somewhere in the US where it's the path of totality. But that will have some very, very interesting effects. Remember, guys, the sun has an effect on the ionosphere and on propagation. So remember that while we'll have the path of totality going through the United States, here in Montreal will be at like 60%. The sun will be covered about 60% in Montreal on that day. And I think, you know what? It could be a very interesting time for North America to just turn on our shortwave radios and see the change in the pattern of propagation. Will some signals that we never hear be enhanced? Will lower frequencies suddenly come alive a little more because of the darkness of the eclipse? It's kind of interesting, and I'm wondering that. What day is, by the way, what day is the August 21st? We need to check that out. I'm going to check it out here. It's going to be easy to see. August the 21st is going to be, okay, July, August, it's a Monday. So, you know what? That could be very, very interesting, and it will have an effect. In the past, I remember seeing articles of how shortwave was modified and changed because of solar eclipse. So it could be even fun. You know what? Monday, August 21st, it could be even fun to do just a live show that will be half a shortwave, half astronomy. Kind of just, you know, all of us joining together and just like enjoying one of the most beautiful phenomena that exists on this planet, a solar eclipse. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see, especially in North America. I believe the, well, it depends, of course, where you are, but like around from like 1600 UT to 2000 UT could be an interesting thing. But you know what? Maybe a live show could be cool on that day. Maybe I could do it from, you know, outside. And I believe, you know, I'm going to test that out. I believe I can actually, with what I have here, put my webcam in a mode where I can actually show you guys what the solar eclipse will look like here. I think that could be cool. Or have some way of doing it. I'm going to think about that. I have, you know, I'm an astronomy geek also. I'm geeky in so many ways. And that's really that's you know, that's going to be kind of cool. And you know, last time we had last time we had a really nice one here in Montreal. I remember was in the 90s. We had one where the sun was like 92% eclipsed. and I still remember the landscape looked like golden. It was very weird. It looked like different. So I don't know. It could be great. I'll put that in my calendar. A special show for the eclipse. If you guys feel that that would be cool, I think that would be very cool. And you know, you know what? I know already I'll be alone here watching the eclipse. So why not do it like, yeah, you know, all of us together. And if you guys have mobile devices to watch my show, I think it's going to be cool. And I do believe I am capable of doing that. Putting my webcam in a mode where I can actually show you the eclipse. I do have the filters. I do have the filters that I can put in front of the cam. And I know that I can zoom in. It could be interesting. I could actually show the eclipse from Montreal, even though here it's not a total eclipse. In Montreal it's about 60%. I think that could be really, really fun. So, yeah, that's very important. Like David Arden says, if you do watch the eclipse, please do it in a very safe manner. Do not, and by the way, I've got to say that because I've heard that so many times. I've heard people using old films and putting like a thick layer to view an eclipse. That's not a safe way to view an eclipse, by the way. You need to have the safe solar, you know, goggles that you're going to watch the eclipse with, because it's very important. You know what? Even if, by the way, even if only 1% of the sun is showing, it's strong enough to actually degrade your eyes. So that's why you got to really, really be careful in how you're going to view the eclipse. And by the way, don't look at it with your, you know, even though it's like only 2%, it's like, oh, I can watch it now because it's not strong. Look, the only time you can actually watch it with your own eyes is when it's totally, the totality, you can watch it with your eyes. It's the only time. As soon as the sun comes out, you gotta just put these glasses back on. Forget it. And you gotta be very, very careful. So, yeah, absolutely, you can kill the camera too, absolutely, Crooked Ninja, that's for sure. So, but I do have everything here. I'm pretty sure I have everything I need. You know, I've been a big astronomy, I am still a big astronomy fan. And by the way, somebody posted a video of a very cool reception of Jupiter. He was receiving the Jupiter static crashes. And it was very, very cool. Somebody posted a YouTube video about that. It was very, very nice. Oh, man. Cheers, everybody. So I guess a geeky astronomy / radio show. And you know what? I'll be listening. So what we'll do is I'm going to actually on August 21st, I'll just install myself in a way that we can listen to the radio, see if there's changes here in Montreal in shortwave propagation, and try to show the solar eclipse. So I'm pretty much a done deal, I gotta say. If you guys like that, I think it's gonna be a cool show. Oh man, yeah, the TIVDO, Niels Pedersen, the TIVDO. I love my TIVDO. I gotta say, I'm in love with my TIVDO. A $20 radio that does so much things. I mean, how can these people do that radio with, I mean, nothing? It's just amazing. AMDK2, I don't want to see, I may drive up to Wyoming or Nebraska to see it. You have to. If you've never seen, okay, MDK2, I have seen once in my life a total solar eclipse. I was about, I don't know, 12, 13. We went to an area where there was a solar eclipse, total solar eclipse. I just want to say one thing. You cannot just say, I may do it. You got to put on your calendar I am driving to, okay, I understand why. Well, you know what? Bring the family over to view that. Now, I don't know, okay, maybe they're young. I don't know the age of your children or whatever, but I'm going to tell you one thing. It's something that you will never, never, and I tell you, never forget for the rest of your life. I can tell you that. I will never forget what I've seen. And here in Montreal, I believe I think it's in 2025. Okay, I've turned off the wrong thing. In 2025, I think is the next totality solar eclipse. Something like 2025. Oh man. So you're watching the shortwave / astronomy / geeky show. We're just having fun talking about, you know, one of the things that's pretty cool. You know what? Nissan Greenwich, I believe you, because I gotta say one thing. The TVO that I got here has so much bass and so much richness in the sound. I am amazed at that radio and the sound that it has. It's just amazing. And this is the Sangria show. This is Gilles Sangria. I should look at that. These are melon. This is watermelon. There's some cherries. There's also some strawberries from Quebec, which are the best in the world, and some wine and juice. And I'm drunk right now, but it's kind of cool. But I got to tell you one thing. It's like the sound quality of the TVO just makes me go crazy. Crazy. Totally. 2024. Is that the one here? 2024. 2024. There's one here in Montreal in like 20 something that I believe is going to be one of the, like a total one. Total solar eclipses over North America in the 21st century. Well, I think it's 2024. Okay, can I have that map bigger, please? I think the 2024 actually goes over Montreal. I think that's the one. 2024. So on April 8th, 2024, Montreal will be in totality. I think that's the one. If it's not, it's damn close. It's like 99%. So that means we're going to be in the same one. I think that's going to be the same one we are going to be in. Will I be doing live shows in 2024? What do you think? Hey guys, am I going to be doing live shows in 2024 with some, I don't know, whatever? And oh God. So Yagi antennas. Yagi antennas are good. A lot of gain. Yagi antennas are like the best for gains. Oh, hey Ernie Turner. Nice to have you on board. You know what, Ernie? No, the strawberries are not green. They're green, no, they're red. Quebec strawberries are the best in the world. I gotta tell you that. Yeah, there's a lot of debris in my drink. Look at that. Look at that. Look at all the fruits. These are all the fruits. They're like the good fruits, actually. Look at that. This is good. Whoops. Yeah, I put my fingers in mine. Yeah. Actually, really good. So, the Ali's comment. You know what, you guys? It's just so funny because I've been a big fan of astronomy since I was very, very young, and it came from, you know what? It's sad that I don't have it anymore. My mom had a when I was about 10. My mom took out some old stuff. She had a Time magazine, and she had a Paris Match with full pictures of the moon landing of 1969. And when I saw that, I was like totally mesmerized in another world of how cool that is. You know, being a young boy, you're like, you know, you don't have the grown-up shit stuff. Because let's face it, the grown-up shit stuff is like, even today, you know, the grown-up shit stuff, you just want to just, hey, go to hell, you know? You want to be a kid again. You want to be, you know, facing like you're just learning, like the first time I've been introduced to shortwave radio and it's like, I'm listening to the world, this is so cool. While the rest of the world is killing themselves because they're stupid idiots that are just controlling us. Yes, that's the alcohol talking right now. And so, but I'm sure everybody agrees anyways about that. You know what? That made me go, I went to the library and I was about 12. And I remember they had to call my mom, yeah, but you know, your son is at the library and he wants a card. So we want to make sure and blah, blah, blah. So, and even then, you know, because I started speaking English and I was very, very young. And when I was at 12, I went to the library and I saw these astronomy books. They were kind of cool, but there was one that was really nice with all the planets in our solar system. And it was in English. And I remember a friend of mine saying, you're going to rent an English book? Because here, you got to understand that in Montreal, back in 1979, everybody speaks French. And English is like that weird language that English people talk, you know. But I'm, you know, already there. I'm already speaking English. So I'm like, yeah, I don't care. So that book is an amazing book and talks about the Halley's Comet that will come back in 1986. Okay, we got to say, I'm in 1979, 1980. And so, of course, now that's a long time back, but I still remember that. I remember, oh, the Voyager spacecraft. I was going to visit Saturn in this year, Neptune in 1989, and so on. And I saw that in that book. And of course, it's all gone now, but it's, you know, the past. But I remember just really, really finding it so cool to see that. Oh man, I gotta tell you, astronomy. Scotty Tier 6 is on 7490, the Fred Flintstone Show. Let me just take a second. I'm gonna reset the FLDIGI because when I close the HDSDR, it doesn't want to start up again. I gotta shut it down and restart. So 2 seconds, guys. Shut down and restart. And now we're gonna go back to HDSDR. We're gonna try the Fred Flintstone Show with the kind of old music. Okay, let's check it out. Network, yeah, that's okay. 7490, let's put it here. And let's just put this here and see. Nothing on 7490, there's something 7530. Well, something's weird here. I'm just gonna go here and do this. Here we go. So 7490.
In good old stereo hi-fi.
There we go.
I think I said that. Anyway, let's move on with music because I'm chatting too much. I've got all kinds of computers running to record the mono version and stereo version. Boy, we got it made. Just burning up all the electronics. Airboy's going to start us off because I'm going to shut up. And another version of Ready to Rock. It starts off like
so WBCQ 7490 with the Fred Flintstone Show. And you know, well, the Voyager spacecrafts are fantastic. Nissan Greenwich. You know, it's if you are It's the first, one of the first spacecraft to really cross to interstellar space and measure the environment outside of the bubble that's created by the sun. It's just amazing. So what is on 14070? It's PSK 31 usually. So 14070, if I put it in upper sideband, this is tons of PSK 31. So let's check it out, see if we can decode something. PSK 31. So let's check it out. Maybe a little too strong here. Let's put it a little, there we go. There's something here. What's that? So PSK 31. Man, these signals are not strong enough. Come on. It's too noisy. Thanks for QSO. I hate it when there's like too much noise like this. So these are PSK 31 signals. AMP0 HFC from KE3DHV. And these are a little fork. Absolutely, Casey Red Dragon. It does show like a little fork. Jim. That one is not as strong, but thanks for KSO and so on. So these are, of course, other signals. Take care, Ethan. Always nice to have you on board, by the way. And Nils, it's actually not an SDR that I bought. It's a donation from a viewer. Greg Wasik from the United States actually offered me his old FLDIGI SDR as he changed receiver and wanted me to have it and to review it and to talk about it. And so this is a network SDR, and it's absolutely fantastic because you can actually, now it's coming, what you see here is coming through my Wi-Fi network, and with my laptop I can even do better. I can actually have a full 1.5 megahertz spectrum there. That's pretty amazing. So it's very cool. The FLDIGI is a very cool SDR. It's very good in performance, I gotta say. Very nice. So thanks. You know what? If anybody wants to donate a receiver that I can talk about, that I can use, don't hesitate. I will take every receiver. You know, if the receiver is free, I can even pay the shipping if you want to send me something. But it is absolutely fantastic. Well, you know what, Niels? If you want to have, because this one is shortwave only, like a long wave, medium wave, shortwave. But if you want to have a shortwave software-defined radio, FLDIGI is fantastic. It's very good in performance. It's amazing. And what you actually can do with the network is just fantastic. I mean, now I have this on every computer. I go in the kitchen and I cook something. I just bring a laptop, start HD SDR, and I just, you know, tune away to the shortwave bands. And it's just fantastic. Are you able to link me to your programs? Well, this is HD SDR. It's a software-defined kind of software for in the SDR, and so I don't know what you mean exactly. But I did give a lot of links a little earlier, so I don't know what you want to. For HD SDR, I can give you the link here. You just got to set it up with. For those that don't have that link, your favorite software-defined receiver, and that's for HD SDR. Those that don't know where it is, and it's just amazing. You know, I mean, I love my my FLDIGI. It's a very, very, very cool software-defined radio. Hey, we're on for now, what, 3 hours and almost 10 minutes now. This is pretty cool. And it's a nice Friday evening as we are tuning around the bands. We're just having a lot of fun, and hope you guys are having fun as we are. And this is the last time I'm going to actually do a little promotion here. Of course, paypal.me/shortwave is my new personalized PayPal address. So you can send me a donation to paypal.me/shortwave. If you have the old address, the old email that you used, it still works. It's the same. It's just that I've got a personalized shortwave PayPal thing. Patreon.com/radio and computers is also a great place. So just to let you know, everyone, it's always cool to have all of you on board. And basically, without your donations, I would probably not be here, because I'd have to find a hard working job doing something I don't like. No, actually not. I'll just be doing some tech jobs a little more. But you know, I like doing what I do now. I like doing the live shows. And I know you guys love what I do, because I've got a great fan club. It's really, really cool. So PayPal for donations is really, really cool. You can also use Patreon. We got 11 patrons today. And it's very, very interesting to see this. Patreon.com is a great service, but you just got to be careful on how you set it up. I can tell you that. Mizo. No. Okay, here's the thing. And thank you for all those that donated, by the way. And those that donated during the show. I've got several little bing on my phone. Thank you all for being here. It's fantastic. You guys are great. Okay, and now we're going to shut it off, because I'm not using that again today, because I'm annoying you enough with my blah blah, okay? No, the FLDIGI is not something that you need to use. It has 2 modes, okay? So here goes. This is another PSK31. So Mizo, the SDRs, okay, software-defined radios. There are several types of software-defined radios. There's a part. Sorry, my chair is making a lot of noise, and I move a lot, you know. Thank you, Niels. Take care. Always nice to have you on board, my friend. And stay safe. Next show, by the way, for those that wonder, July 8th, Saturday, July the 8th, 2000 hours UTC. So, okay. SDRs use different ways of connecting to a computer, because a software-defined radio connects to a computer. So here you see this is a station ROM and station IC71100, 25 watts. Look at that. Only 25 watts. And pretty cool. Operated 69 years. We're all old in our hobby, eh? So anyways, some software-defined receivers, a lot of them, by the way, actually connect through your USB port, okay? And these are the majority of them. The FLDIGI, by the way, is also connecting through USB. If you want to connect through your USB on a PC, it works. But some software-defined receivers have other ways of connecting, and the FLDIGI is one. It also has a network connection. So the way that it works is that the FLDIGI is actually connected to my router, okay? And through my router, it's being actually basically used through my own network with all my computers. So now you're seeing it here. So when I actually display this screen, and this is actually the screen of the FLDIGI. So when you see this, this is the front end. This is the computer's controls for that software-defined receiver. But here I am using it through my home network. It could be on Wi-Fi, but it can be on also a cabled network with the Ethernet cables if you want. But if I want, I can actually use it on USB. I've used it, when I actually received it, I used it with USB. But what's cool with a network SDR is that it's easy to just put it on your own network, listen to it on every device in your home, and it's just kind of cool. Now the FLDIGI, this receiver is about $200, KC Red Dragon, around $200. And it is a nice little device, okay? I've been really having a lot of fun, and I gotta say, I've kind of started using my Icom receiver more as a VHF UHF device since I've had this receiver, because now what's fun with this is that you can actually tune it on a portable computer. So I have a laptop, you know, I just bring the laptop in the kitchen, and if I cook, or, you know, the other day it was kind of nice. It was like maybe it was around like 1 a.m. in the morning, and it was a really beautiful night, and I decided to listen to Shortwave on in my backyard. And at first, you know what, I actually took the this portable receiver with me, and then I said, hey, wait, I can listen with my computer and have a much better radio than this, and actually uses also my backyard sloper antenna. And I just had a lot of fun actually listening in to stations through my, you know, a FLDIGI SDR in my backyard, which is kind of cool. Really, oh, well, wait, Richard, you heard WWCR ID. They have a show, by the way. They have a show that where they actually have what's his name? The guy from WWCR, the guy that has the main operations of WWCR. So you will hear from time to time, Richard, WWCR kind of, it's not an ID officially, but it's like they are using that because it's kind of, they talk about they talk about the you know, the different aspects of shortwave broadcasting from WRMI, WWCR. So it's totally possible you've heard WWCR on WRMI. I've heard that show a few times. I don't remember what's the name of it, but it's like kind of these two broadcasters talking about their setup, their transmissions, and everything. Hey, Dave Todd, nice to have you here. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. No worries. No worries. And as for the SDR, MDK2 says, got your eye on next level SDR yet, Jill? Perseus SDR that Jordan uses looks pretty sweet. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? I am in, and I'll be very fair with you guys, that's why donations are helping a lot. I'm in the middle of like a restructuration and like rebuilding things to try to have a decent living from what I do. And what I would like eventually is will be much more professional and much more I don't know, we'll have a lot more information and a lot more shows, and that's still in my mind. So of course everything is in the, you know, radar of the future of what we could do, and I think I have a lot of potential here. Yeah, Ted is from Ted Randall is from WTWW. I'm trying to remember the name of the other guy from WWCR, but I don't. Gotta say, MDK, to speak of your backyard, will you be doing any shows from the patio this summer? You know what, MDK2? They would be there a long time ago if it's not the fact that it's raining all the time. Every damn moment I've been doing a live show, it's raining. It's raining. It's raining all the time. In the past 2 months, it's been raining all the time. So that's the only thing. That's why I'm not doing any, you know, peri-island expeditions. It's just raining all the time. It's driving me crazy. I can tell you, I'm going to be so happy the first time I'm going to go to peri-island. Oh, God. I can tell you that. Man. Hey, Robert Lauer. Nice to have you on board. No worries. No problem there. But, man, it's like, I got to tell you, it's just crazy here. It's been raining so much that I haven't been able... It's the first time, by the way, it's the first time that I have not been able to go to the peri-island expedition yet. And it's like the first, like, you know, I mean, you guys know, the first day that it's warm enough, I'm always outside doing the live shows. And I gotta say, it's just crazy. The weather is so bad lately, and it's cold. It's much colder than usual. I gotta say that. What Icom do I have? I have an Icom ICR 8500. If you guys want to see it, here's what it looks like. We're gonna go to Google image and type Icom. Let's see, R8500. This is what I have, and this actually comes from my channel. Scanning UHF. Look at that. This is from my channel. YouTube. Actually, Google takes the pictures from YouTube and posts them there. So, anyways, this is. Here we go. This is what I got, the Icom ICR 8500. Kind of my dream receiver, if you want. But I gotta say, I still drool. I am drooling over the Icom ICR 8600. Oh, I gotta tell you, Patrick, singing in the rain is like, yeah, absolutely. Anyone know what's on 14096? Let's check that out. 14096. 14096. What do I have there? I've got nothing there. Is it something that varies? Is it constant? Yes, I know, Scotty. Absolutely. I want to put LEDs. Fastload actually was showing me at the electronics store where we go a little panel of LEDs that I could actually just add a little switch button, and I could change the color of the display as I wish. That'd be nice. That'd be very, very nice. For sure. Yeah, who knows, Kevin, why? I'm not going to rob the bank, but who knows? Yes, I did see that, Bobby. The tour of WRMI was very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Tour of WRMI. I got to say that. 6828, 6628 is, I believe, is one of the aviation frequencies, Moderator the Extra. It's smack in the aviation band. So what's here? Let's check out what's here. That's interesting. $67.30. There's some kind of signal. Any pirates? Let's check it out. Pirate stations. Let's zoom in on the pirate bands. Okay, what's this? 6945. Nothing here. Here? Nothing there. Nothing there in here. Huh. No pirate stations right now, from what I see. Oh my God. Yes, absolutely, David. You remember that. You remember that when I had my ICR 8500 on a washing machine in the kitchen. Yeah, first hangout were there. Absolutely, the first hangouts were there from the. Wow, you remember that. So you're one of those from the beginning of the. How long has it been? Can you guys answer me? Because I was actually wondering. I kind of lost track. How long has it been since I've been doing the hangouts on the shortwave? Can somebody tell me? I've been like just wondering. I've been wondering. It's been at least 3 years, if not more. More than 3 years. How long has it been doing the hangouts? I should have numbered them. Would have been nice. Oh, X&ADXer. Is that tour on YouTube? WWVH from 1988? That'd be nice to see. This is so weird, you know, Scotty Tier 6. You know, I can understand it can take a while for a receiver to arrive, but come on. You know? Imagine Icom. Imagine Icom waiting for these guys to like, okay, are they going to do something so we can sell these effing radios? Drives me crazy. Hey, Joey D. Nice to have you here. As usual. As usual. I gotta tell you that. Pirate reported. Pirate on 6205 in Europe. Very strong in the UK, apparently. Cool. There must be Kevin Y, I'm sure. You know what? If you one of the things that a lot of people don't do, and it's very, very fantastic, it's the if you YouTube old military receivers, there's so many videos you can view that are fantastic on YouTube. Just amazing. Jerry, you know what? I am very tempted with the Galaxy S8 for a very simple reason. I am with the Galaxy S7 on the FIDO network. And there's recently such a high competition that a Videotron, which is giving me the internet that I have here, actually called me up and said, well, you know, I know, we know, and I don't know how they know, but anyways, we know you still have a year left of your contract, but we can pay that penalty if you promise you'll be at least 2 years with us. And then he said, well, if you want to have a phone, and I said, well, I want a Galaxy S8. They said, well, you can have the Galaxy S8, and we'll just, you know, pay the fees and everything. It was like, huh, that's kind of interesting. That's kind of interesting. Bullfrog says it's been a few years at least. Showed up 2 years ago. Okay, yeah, 2014, something like that. On a Sunday? Did I do that on Sunday? On Radio DXer? I don't remember. XNADXer says August 2014 when the Hangout started. I've chimed in on since September 2014. That's possible. That's possible. I lost track of when I started. I totally lost track of when I started. Really, totally. Okay, one of the earliest ones that you just posted, David. Oh God. This looks bad. Test number 2 of Shortwave Radio Evening Hangout. Oh, this really looks bad. When was that? March 22nd, 2014. I remember when I did it, I believe it was still winter outside or something like that. I really need to check that out. Wow. Sorry guys. It's been a while. It's been a while. So 2014. I do need a secretary. I know, you know, Jerry, I know what you want, and I know what you guys want. You want me to have a secretary with big boobs that will bring me my beer every time. If I have enough of a, you know, at some point, enough money to do this, I promise you guys, I will have a big boob woman bringing me beer. That's for sure. Oh God, man. What do we have here? Don't you agree, Scotty, that it's way too long? You know, how long does it take to approve a effing radio? I'm sure these big screen TVs don't take that long to approve. You know? Why? It's too complicated? You've never seen something like that? Come on. Industry Canada. Let's kick their butts. Hey, Jeffrey Crop, nice to have you on board from New Hampshire. Pretty cool. Sorry guys, I think this one is the earliest one. Yeah, I need to, I should check it out on my channel. My channel is, yeah. So, I remember it was, I think it was winter. I will fish it out and I will tell you guys next time the exact time when we went live with these shows. These shows have kind of grown and really been very, very different over the times, you know. And I remember the first live show I did. You guys, I gotta say, the first live show I did, I was so damn nervous of doing this live show. It was crazy. It was like, okay, people are gonna watch me, and I was so damn nervous. Sorry, I need to have more wine or sangria. Oh wow! I can tell you one thing. I was so damn nervous that time. Now I do a live show. It's like going, you know, it's like going to the grocery store. It's like, yeah, I'm doing a live show. Even my nephew Gabriel, it was just funny because when we did the first live show from the couch, I remember the first live show. I was very used to doing live shows now, and I gotta say I'm not nervous at all of doing a live show. And I was on the couch with my nephew, and I said, "You okay?" And he told me, "I'm totally nervous." And I said, "Relax, it's just a live show." You know, with my just relaxed voice of, I've done this 20 million times. Who cares? And I remember because I saw his face and I saw that he was like tense. I was like, "You okay?" And I remember his first show. He took like, he wrote at least 10 pages in Word of notes to make sure that he doesn't look like an idiot that doesn't know what to say. And I found that just so cute and just so professional of him also. But you know, I also remembered my first live show. I can tell you that. William says, "When you did show, you look like 14-year-old. You look like you came home from a tennis lesson." Oh God, oh God. The official Shortwave BootTube channel. And now, okay, I hope it's not from this place, but I'm hearing a fire alarm, and it's not mine. I just hope that if you guys see flames, it's one of the apartments in this building. I've never, I did see your post, by the way, Richard, about you hearing Bangkok weather, and I'm totally jealous of that, because I've never received it here. You know, you're convincing me that that Walbrook needs to be here for sure. I can tell you that. Oh man. Yeah, there was the first appearance. Actually, I know the first appearance of DX the Cat, and there's an ad. And I remember because we celebrated. DX the Cat has been here this month for 2 years now. And I remember I was in the chat room, and one of the reasons why we call him DX is when he appeared, I was in the IRC chat. And basically, the cat just appeared. I was sitting on the balcony and never seen him before. So it's been 2 years this month. Time just flies. It's just incredible. Ah, man. Yep, here in Canada, there's no... here in Canada, there's no... absolutely no... They don't cut any frequency ranges in any radios. That has been a decision, and a wise decision, of the government in the 90s, when they looked at what should they do. And, you know, governments rarely take good decisions, as you all know. And that one was a nice one, because basically they decided that, you know, it was like, no, it's up to the different players, the different companies, to actually, you know, use encryption if they want to be safe and they want to be really, you know, private. It's not up to us to cut out frequency ranges. In some ways, that is a much more interesting and wise decision than what the United States FCC has done. I'm gonna tell you, the FCC, and even lately with the with that guy, that idiot that's at the FCC right now, man, you guys in the US, I'm sorry, you're in trouble. Nissan Greenwich, do you still hear 154.905 from New York and Montreal? Probably. I hear a lot of stuff from the northern border states and the VHF range. I should try that out again. Yes, I know MDK2. It's DX the Cat. I will turn the shortwave channel into a cat channel. DX the Cat is in a chair right now, like just looking at me and saying, "Hey, you're making too much noise while you're blabbing around in YouTube." And he was there a little earlier. He has this little eyes like I wanna. The FCC in the United States is completely nuts. I can tell you that. Then neutrality is going the way side. It's like, what the hell is happening? You know, this is my personal opinion. And by the way, any US viewers, I don't want to offend anybody, but what the hell is you guys doing, and where the hell are you guys going? Okay, that's all I gotta say. This is the outside view of you guys. Okay, all I gotta say. Oh man. Robert Sutherland, hello there. When are you going doing the newcomer show with the... Oh yeah, I didn't have time this week. I'll be even more honest than that. I just wanted to take a break this week. But the next newbie show will be possibly next week, and it's going to be about antennas. So stay tuned. It's coming. I promise, Robert. Okay? Shortwave Nazis. No shortwave for you. I like to say that. I like to own a store and say, no shortwave radio for you. I gotta say. 14110 KC Red Dragon. It's probably some kind of... am I hearing anything? I'm hearing a tone that I believe is a local interference here, because it doesn't propagate. So I don't know. Oh man. So no Degen loop for you. Oh, that's for sure. I wouldn't even give away a Degen loop. I can tell you that, Jerry. I would not even give away a Degen loop. So and 14097, I don't have anything here. So I can tell you what that is. I don't hear anything here. And you got to be careful, Casey Red Dragon, because sometimes local interference can be a very, very big problem when tuning the bands. So, I want to thank everybody for being here today. We've been on for 3 hours and 40 minutes, believe it or not. I mean, I have the impression I've just started the show. And before we go, I just want to complete with a few little bits of software. If you want to listen to Slow Scan TV, this is one of the best software. It's MMSSTV, and I will actually post the link in the chat room for MMSSTV download. Unfortunately, I think we haven't been able in a live show to actually download or hear a slow scan television signal, which is sad. We're going to try one just now, just in case. So here goes. This is MMSSTV. It's a slow scan television software. It's so cool because you decode images as they're downloading. Is there anything here? Come on, guys. Give me one slow scan TV signal we can decode. For Linux, thanks, Scotty. For Linux, QSSTV. Really nice. Jerry, you've been sending me emails. Send me that email of when they're going to start, okay? I want to know. So, the International Space Station sending out slow scan television signals in July. Cool. This is so much fun to listen to, by the way. And what else do we have? Oh, really? XNADX is getting Spanish FM eSkip 89.1. Wow, cool. This is cool. So MMSSTV is a great piece of software for decoding slow scan television. You know what? You gotta. Yes, I saw everything, Jerry. It's just amazing. Thanks for all you send, by the way. You know, I don't reply. I'm not a replier. You know, I'm like a real guy. You know, doesn't call anyone. Doesn't say that he's alive or something. And but you know what? I enjoy all of your emails, Jerry. Very appreciated. So take care, everybody. Yes, Kevin, I will save some sangria. Actually, I think there's like a glass left. I'm gonna continue listening to Shortwave and like just take the last glass. Nice to have everybody on board, by the way, as usual. You guys are great. Thanks for being here. Thanks for the donations. Much appreciated. You guys are very, very, very cool. And so, you must make a bad boyfriend for your wife. We're not going to talk about that because I'm going to start ranting again. I'm too geeky and too, I don't know. A geek guy is very much a guy that is in his world. I'm in my world, like you guys are probably in your world. But, with the added bonus of you can't live without and you can't live with. It's like a very complex situation here. So take cares. Everybody take care. Always nice to have everyone on board. Take care all. Stay safe. Really, really loving every moment that I spend with all of you. It's pretty cool. And take care all. So there's amateur radio operators on 14190. Stay safe and see you soon. July 8th, Saturday, July 8th is the next show. 2000 hours UTC. Bye. Thanks everybody that donated. Those that have never donated, think about it. Is it worth it? Bye.